The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me.
No. Sorry. Monday, we got in late. My bad. Sorry, that's not the theme to the show. This is... There we go. French kisses. There's French kisses, that which is now the theme. It's the theme of the show. And here's the thing. When Brexit happens, which is very, very soon, less than a fortnight, I have suggested that this becomes the new national anthem and we have it played instead of the bongs. That, in fact, ZZ and H provide the bongs. If you know what I mean, Jelly Bean. Whoa, yeah, I just went there. Good evening, dear listener. It's the Late Night Alternative. We don't really talk about the show much these days. Keep it on the...
Down low.
Keep it on the down low. If you've noticed, I've not tweeted about the show because... It's our little secret.
It's none of their business.
It's none of their business. Although we're up for 2 awards. Sam, we're up for 2 awards. And one of the awards you guys can vote for, right? Here are the 3 options. A multi-millionaire gets a new job. That's option 1. Option 2. A lady multi-millionaire gets a new job. Option 3. We stopped a guy from dying. Now, I don't want to...
We're not going to push you. Obviously, it's your choice.
Up to you, guys.
But just have a little think.
It's up to you. A millionaire gets a new job. Option 2. A multi-millionaire female gets a new job. Option 3. We saved a guy's life. Now, it's up to you who you vote for, guys, but...
I mean, you've got to live with yourself.
Although if I were Chris Evans, I would pay... what's his... Bernie Winters-Lee. Who's the guy? Bernie Winters-Lee. Schnobbits. The internet guy. Bernie Winters-Lee. Guy that invented the internet. Tim Burnham Westfield. What's the guy's name who invented the internet, Katherine? You're my go-to for internet news. Quentin. Chris Quentin.
Tim Berners-Lee.
Tim Berners-Lee. I would just, if I were Chris Evans. Tim Berners-Lee in Berners-Lee. If I were Chris Evans.
Yeah.
I would say, all right, Tim. I don't know how he talks.
Apparently just like me.
All right, Tim. There's £1 million. Make me a bot that vote for me all time. Here's the thing about bots, right? They're very clever. Very clever. Very, very, very clever. But
that's true. Is that it?
No, but they can't tick a little box that says, I am not a robot.
No.
They can't do that.
No, and they can't tick a box that says this has got a bridge in it.
Do you know what? I've told you why, so don't spoil the answer. Do you remember what I told you?
You told me that one of your relations... What?
Don't spoil the answer. Do you remember what I told you?
When? You've told me a lot of stuff. Most of it not true.
Do you remember any of the stuff I've ever told you?
Some I can't get out of my head.
Give me some bits.
Well, which bits?
Do you remember what I said? Oh, screw you. Sam is back. Sam, it's great to have you back, mate, if that is indeed your name. Do you know when you... Don't mouth it to him.
What?
Look at me, Katherine. Look at me.
Go on.
Look at me.
I'm looking.
Look at my gaze. Sat in the corner. Be quiet, gaze. Sam, when you have to validate you're not a robot, it will quite often say, click all the pictures of traffic lights. Do you know why?
Yeah. Did you say because they're collecting data?
Oh, you're a piece of trash. And you're a piece of trash. Turn your mic off.
Hello?
I prefer the wispy girl we have normally. Amy. I prefer Amy.
Wispy.
She's wispy.
She's tiny.
Comment tu t'appelles? Isabella, Laura, c'est mon girl.
Oh.
My weekend...
You haven't introduced yourself.
I'm Iain Lee.
I'm so sexy. Oh, my.
Didn't ask, but it's true. I've had a terrible weekend. I watched... at least 3 Adam Sandler films. That's how bad my weekend was. I watched at least 3. And here's... You asked, I'll tell you. Started off with Sandy Wexler. Scores very badly on IMDb.
Is that a real film?
It's a real film. He plays an agent in it. I enjoyed it a lot. I give it 7 out of 10. Mm-hmm. Then I watched I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. Homophobic, racist, offensive. 10 out of 10. No. No. It did make me cry, but that's 'cause I was in a weird mood. But there is a whole scene, Rob Schneider, who I've met, I know Rob, as a Japanese dude with the eyes and the teeth.
Wow,
yeah,
no, really?
And the yellow
He did
face.
a Mickey Rooney?
Yeah, in 2009. I thought, well, this is like early 90s, 2009. Lots of chucking around offensive F words for gays. It was awful. 5 out of 10. And then I watched the incredible Mr. Deeds. It's called Mr. Deeds. I put the incredible on there, just like Great Britain. I didn't put that on there, but you know what I mean. Someone did, and I did today. It was my turn today to put incredible in front of Mr. Deeds.
Tell me about the movie. Stop
starring,
waxing on about the title.
Starring Adam Sandler. Oh, and I'll tell you something that I'm working on. I loved it. I'm very, very sneaky, sir. I think you'll... Have you seen it? It's good, isn't it, Sam? You just snuck up on me. Oh, I'm very, very sneaky, sir. You underestimate my sneakiness. I could watch it. It was funny. Loved it. 9 out of 10.
God.
Here's my next...
Can I give you my film review?
Go
on.
I don't think my fans are interested.
They'll be into this one.
I don't think my fans
Hustlers, Jennifer Lopez gets a bum out.
I know, I've seen that bit.
4 out of 10.
For her bum?
It was no Showgirls.
I would say...
Although they did show girls.
I would say Jennifer Lopez is the most beautiful woman in the world. Prove otherwise. Prove otherwise. Give me...
This guy.
You're
looking at the proof.
Kath's had a glass of wine tonight, guys. We went to a pop concert in someones living room.
We do, and I'm feeling sassy.
The fabulous Nerina Pallot in someone's living room. 30 people crammed into a living room, and it was wonderful.
Dog nearly got set on fire.
That's not a euphemism.
Yeah, Hustlers. They kind of tried to make it like some sort of heist jape.
It's based on a true story, mate.
I know, but I didn't like any of them. Not one. Not one. I wasn't rooting for any of them.
Okay. I'm worried that either the phones are broken or Alan Caddick is dead.
Uh-oh.
I know which one I'm more worried about, because it's really hard to do a show without phones.
Oh, now, come on.
Jokes, guys. Bants, a little bit of bant. The old B, the A, the N, the T, the Z. It's Bants.
I also saw a film called The Witch.
I kept quiet for too long, giving you plenty of opportunity to jump in.
Just a moment you gave me.
Okay.
And that, I think, might have been good, because I can't work out whether it was good or terrible.
Okay.
I think probably good.
Do you know what's going to happen to me before the end of the year? I'll be charged with your murder. But aside from that, and I'll plead guilty, because I'll have done it. I'll have murdered you, is what I'm saying.
And this.
But aside from that, here's where I'm... Please, you got hair in your eye. It's really annoying me. Push it to one side.
I don't have to.
That bit.
You're not the boss of me.
Oh, it's annoying me.
You're not in charge of my fringe.
Sam, can you get some scissors? Here's my plan. By the end of the year...
Yes.
I will appear in an Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, shut up.
What? He makes about 5 a year.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he'd discovered Netflix now.
Yeah, exactly. He makes them on Netflix.
Ah.
So, this is my... Don't say shut up to my dreams. How dare you say shut up to my dreams? How dare you? Might as well spit at my kids. How dare
where
you?
Are they?
By the end of the year...
I like your kids.
By the end of the year, I will appear... And it rhymes, and I've got no way of stopping it. By the end of the year, I will appear in an Adam Sandler movie. That's my prediction. Name one prediction I've got wrong so far. Don't. You can't. You can't.
All right, Darius Dinesh.
And it'll be a triple platinum selling movie.
Yeah, and you'll be bashing on my door and saying, I'm so sorry, Darius.
0344991000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. It's in one of those moods. You know, I'm so tired. So tired. I've got a cold again after not having had a cold. Well, after having had a cold recently, I've got another cold.
How do you know it's a different cold?
Because I ran tests on it in my lab. I hope I've not got that Chinese flu. Don't panic. Don't panic about the Chinese flu. 3 people have dead. But what do you know about those 3 people that died? Because I know quite a lot about them. What do you know?
I don't know anything.
Well, I'll tell you. They're all over 60. They all had other conditions. So don't panic. They don't say that in all the news bulletins. They only say that in the clever news bulletins that I listen to, right? So you're going, oh, shoot, man, there's 3 people have died. And you're thinking like yourself or like fit people like me. But no, they're all over 60. I don't have any more specifics than that, I'm afraid. So it could be like over 75. And they all had pre-existing. I'm saying it.
You're saying it in a funny way, though.
I'm saying it in an emphatic way.
Can I help?
No. All right, join in. They all had pre-existing conditions. So panic over. Panic over, all right? You ain't
I wasn't panicking. I didn't really know anything
if you're
about
over
it.
60 and you've got a pre-existing condition, you're screwed. Here's the thing. I'm putting out a request for a call tonight, if I may be so bold. I'm going to play you... Let me just play you one little clip on my computer.
Yeah.
Grab pussy.
That's Paul McCartney, bass player for Wings and the Beatles. I was playing video games over the weekend with some listeners of the show. One of them is Ghost Pervert, David Babcock.
Hoover botherer.
He does an amazing impression of Paul McCartney saying that awful phrase, grab pussy. Honestly, when you hear Babcock doing it, I just kept saying, do it again, do it again, do it again. So 0344, David, you know the rest. I don't even need to say the rest. You've got the hotline to us. This is... I wasn't going to take any calls tonight. Look, I've given the number out. We've got a load of calls lined up. Oh, well, them's the breaks. Them's the breaks. You look muscular, Sam. You've been working out.
He looks so sexy. Oh, my.
This is Talk Radio.
A star-crossed soapbox for sailor boys, stable girls,
I'm on the edge.
and stripper grands.
It depends who you're with and it depends on the situation.
Late night speech radio with a difference.
Thank you.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
So, hang on. So Prince Harry and Meghan have said they're dropping their royal titles and they're paying back the money that was the 2.4 million that was done on that cottage, and they're going to be financially independent actually sooner than we all expected. And people are still angry with them? People are still angry with them? Come on, guys. They're doing everything you said you wanted them to do.
I mean, a lot of people said, you don't like it, you know what you can do. Well,
they're doing it.
They did.
They're doing it. Anyway, David Babcock.
Yo, hello, how you doing?
Now please, mate, come here. Don't let me down. Right.
Oh.
I've been bigging you up all evening together.
I know.
He has, yeah.
Don't let me down. All right, son? If you're not feeling up to it, I can fake it by pressing the button here twice, all right? You know what I mean, son? Now, over the weekend, David, who has recently become a father, has...
I've not.
Has perfected many impressions of obscure northern people.
David, who is still denying paternity of the child.
Yeah. So, this is... Right, okay, well, we're going to see which one's Paul McCartney and which one's David Babcock. Here we go.
Grab pussy.
That's one, and let's hit...
Oh, I messed it up.
Okay. Well, no, you didn't. I messed it up. I pressed the button by mistake, maybe. Let's go again. Right, let's go again. So this is take 1.
Grab pussy.
This is take 2.
Grab pussy.
Which one was now, Katherine? Which one was Paul McCartney?
Fab or fake?
Fab or fake? Now, let's hear number 1 again. Is this fab or fake? Number 1, here we go.
Grab pussy.
Is that fab or fake?
Fab. It's got to be fab.
Okay, and you're saying that this...
Grab pussy.
Is fake?
Yeah.
David, do you want to tell her?
You can do it right now, please.
You can do it right now, please.
I admire your dedication, David. That's lovely.
This is my weekend, was getting him to say those 2 phrases over and over again.
Have you been practicing that around the baby, though? It's not very nice.
I've not been saying grab pussy near a baby.
Shouldn't.
Now, can we get it a little bit niche? It's almost as if I don't care anymore. There's a guy who calls up the show. He's called Ollie.
Yeah.
And I've just remembered something, but I can't say it on air. David, can you do your Nothing. Can you do your impression of Ollie, please?
This is like the nichest thing you've ever done. It's basically just for you and Kath.
I want to hear it.
Hi, Roger.
That's so good. Can you do Roger?
I can do Roger, yeah.
Do Roger.
Hey, I've just had a pizza. I've just had a pizza. And it was a spicy pizza. Right.
Do Ollie one more time.
Hi, Matty.
And do McCartney one more.
Grab pussy.
Have you ever thought you might be listening to this a bit too much?
What's the, what is it?
I thought of a way we're going to make you rich.
Pledge.meatfreemondays.com. 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 You can do it right now, please.
You can do it right now, please.
David.
Yeah.
At some point this year,
Yeah.
we're gonna do a live show. Me, you, and Kath.
Right.
At a venue in London, probably the Half Moon in Putney. I'm just putting this out there now. I don't care if you're interested or not. You're doing it.
Okay.
And the Half Moon in Putney. I'm putting this out there to the listeners. And well, I think I know what the first half is going to be, but that's top secret.
It's going to be Fabcock or Babcock. Thanks, Billy Hayes.
And the second half is going to be a Q&A that me and Katherine will host. You up for it?
Who's the guest?
It's you.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Hey, Ian.
Hello.
I've got. You might not want to touch it with a barge pole.
Okay.
But,
what is it?
Shutwinkle rang me. You know, the American correspondent.
Oh yeah.
He's got a spicy theory. It's very spicy.
Why don't you ask him to WhatsApp it to me?
Right.
And I'll let you know if it's too spicy. I've got a feeling it probably is. Hey, David, say hello to my friend Alan.
I am Mr. Babcock. Hi, Ian. Is that me or is that David? I can't tell the difference.
It's me in the mirror.
I can't tell the difference here. This is uncanny.
There's an echo on the line. You're right, Quebec. How are you doing?
I'm not bad, David. I thought I was talking to myself then.
It sounded like it, didn't
You
it?
generally are. Alan, what can we do for you?
Well, a bit late calling, but we'll count.
Who's dead?
I'll stand back answering the phone.
Yeah, who's dead?
Well, last week it was Oscar Blaketon,
Oscar Blaketon?
Derek
Can I
Fold.
go?
Oh, Derek Falt. All right, Mr. Derek. All right. Oh, well.
Right. Can I go?
No.
Jesus.
What's latest news on the Birmingham tickets for the rabbit hole?
Selling very, very healthily, unlike Glasgow and Cardiff.
Come on, Glasgow. Come on, Cardiff. Get your finger out.
Well, that'll do it. David, what are you still doing here?
I can't. I'll hang up. I'll see you. Bye.
Yeah, okay. 0344 499 1000. Did we do the quarter past break? Oh, man, I was really looking forward to that. Needed a breather. Let's go to... Now, how do I say your name? Is it Sharan?
Sharan.
Sharan. Hey, Sharan, how you doing? You sent us a couple of emails that I've not got round to getting back to. How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, I just wanted to see if I could get a response because my options are tomorrow.
Sharan emailed me. 14 years old?
Yep.
14 years old.
13, round about right.
Round about 13 or 14. And options for GCSE are being chosen tomorrow.
Right.
And I'm going to choose them.
No.
I am going to choose them.
Are you crazy, Sharan?
Sharan, so tell the listener, tell Katherine what's going on.
So my options are tomorrow, and I've been quite pressurized over the last of year 9.
Yeah.
And everyone's kind of expecting me to know what I'm going to be, and my parents are as well. But I kind of don't know what I want to be.
No.
So I'm kind of confused what to choose and stuff.
I think that's quite usual.
Your mum and dad want you to be a doctor, right? Or a dentist, yeah?
Not really. They want me to. They think that's what I want to be,
Hang on. Your parents...
It's a bit confusing.
Your parents think you want to be in medicine?
Yes.
Well, okay, I'm assuming, do you want to be in medicine?
Not really.
Okay.
It's kind of pressurizing knowing you can affect someone's life that human.
Yeah, okay. And what do your teachers think?
My teachers don't really care, I think, because I talk to quite a few of them and they just say, it's up to you, just choose what you like.
It is up to you.
And I've tried that, but then nothing really comes up.
It is up to you, but it's so much easier to say that when you haven't got the weight of parents' anticipation on your shoulder. You're an artist.
Nope.
I can feel. I'm feeling it. I don't mean art as in painting. You're creative.
You could say that, I guess.
Tell me what you like doing.
Mainly geography and photography.
Creative. There you go. It's two creative. Two of the most creative subjects in the world. And you're 13, 14 around the area. You know, I mean, I knew I wanted to be an actor. But that was kicked out of me by the teachers who said, "You'll never be an actor. Don't be so stupid. Why don't you become a teacher?" Not many people know at that age what they want to be.
How many subjects have you got to choose?
At least 4 or 5, because I've go to a grammar school, so I'm kind of...
Oh, right. So it is
really
getting narrowed
overwhelmed.
down quite a lot. Because when I was taking my options, it was like 8 to 10.
I think I had like 5, but then they were like 3 on top, like maths and English that you have to do.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
No, these are like 4 or 5 optional subjects. Those compulsory subjects, they don't count them as subjects you choose.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. We cannot tell you what to choose. But you know that, right?
Yeah.
I can give you some really silly old man advice that you'll be disappointed with. It's the best I can do. And this is great advice, but you'll be disappointed with it until you're 46. And then you go, oh man, he was right. Follow your heart, my friend.
Okay.
Here's what
Hang on. Go on.
Go on.
What's your response to that?
Mainly what you predicted.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I'm not going to tell you what to do. I can't. It wouldn't be fair. Because I don't know you. And even if I did know you, I wouldn't tell you. Follow your heart. But I'm assuming there'll be subjects you absolutely detest, some you're not that bothered with, and some that you love.
The thing is, there are subjects I love, but the teachers are absolutely awful.
They might die. They might die. No, I mean that seriously. The number of subjects, the turnover of teachers when I was a kid, patronising. Sorry, when the turnover of teenagers when I was teachers when I was a teenager was a lot. It's even more now. You might not get those teachers. If you love the subject, you have to look beyond the personality of the person teaching you.
Okay.
Can I add a bit of old woman advice?
Okay.
Pick things you can do brilliantly at. Because actually, when it comes down to it, passing them well is what gets you to the next step.
I think that's already what I like, what I'm good at. So,
yeah, exactly. And those are the ones. Those are the ones. The ones you find kind of easy and you enjoy.
I would disagree about finding them easy necessarily.
There are some that you find it easy to be interested in.
There we go. That's different. That's better. Yeah, that's better because it's good to challenge ourselves, as long as you enjoy the challenge.
Okay.
You might not know what you want to do until you're 38. You might not know. It's not always that clear cut for everybody.
Okay.
It's really easy to say because I'm financially independent. I'm nearly 47 years old, right? You have to start pointing towards a career. It doesn't have to be definite, but you have to kind of start heading towards a career that you will be happy doing every day for the rest of your life. Not that your mum would be happy seeing you do, not that your dad would be happy seeing you do, but something you think in good conscience you can do well and enjoy every day for the rest of your life. Now, The decisions you make at 13 and 14, they are very, very important. They're not everything. They're not everything. You can still change them. You can still change your mind. You can still change direction. The whole point of education is to find stuff that you enjoy and that you like and that your brain understands. And you might put down a course and then 6 months into it go, geez, this is like Chinese to me. And you can then change. What you decide now, even though it's important, it is not the be-all and end-all. It will not necessarily determine the path that your life takes.
Okay, thank you.
And I know we're being vague, and that is because I cannot sit here and say, right, okay, well, I think from column 1 you should do geography. I do it still in columns. You should do geography, you should do British history, you should do... I can't say that. Only you can say it.
There's another little bit as well into this. This isn't just about getting you a job. This is about making you an interesting person, right? And you can decide later in the day exactly what you fancy doing. You might get a better idea. You might. A lot of people don't, like Iain says. But there are certain things that you're good at and you're gifted at. And there's a reason for that.
Okay.
It'll make you an interesting person if you're doing things that you're passionate about.
Okay. There's just one more thing I want to ask. I've got a Nintendo Switch, and I'm kind of stuck on what games to get. Do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, now I can tell you. Yes, definitely. Now we've got a question I can give you specific answers on. You've obviously got Mario Kart, right?
Yes.
Okay, you've got Mario Kart. You've got Let's Dance. Yes?
No.
Shut the front door. Let's Dance 2020 is ridiculous. It's stupid. It's silly. And me and my youngest son play it together all the time. And we take it... I've filmed us doing it. I'll show you the film later, Sam. It's a film of us. And we take it so seriously. And it is just really, really silly.
The thing is, I've got that on my phone, so I don't really see what...
On your phone?
You can get it on your phone, but you have to pay a monthly subscription of, I think, it's like £5 or something.
That sounds absolutely nuts. I don't really play many Switch games. I'm getting into. I'm getting a new PC. Yeah, so I'm a PC gamer, pro streamer. Well, I don't know. Listen, Sharan. Good luck tomorrow. Whatever you do will be the right answer. Okay.
Okay.
It will be the right answer. And nothing I chose in my GCSEs or my A-levels, nothing I chose has had any major impact on me sitting in this chair right now.
Okay. Thanks, Iain. That helps a lot.
Give us a call. Let us know how things go, man.
Okay.
Bye. Do you know what? Answering the Switch games question was harder than the GCSE... GCSE thing, isn't it? 0344 499 1000. Let's go to... I'm in trouble. I didn't watch Alistair's film. I was watching Adam Sandler all weekend.
Just be honest, you'll get it.
I love that film you told me to watch, Alistair.
Wonderful.
I didn't see it. I got sucked into...
No, it's all right, mate.
I felt a little bit downbeat this weekend. Felt a little bit downbeat. I feel very lonely. I didn't have the boys. And I'm in that... lovely house, and it was lonely, and I just felt a little bit, I want somebody to hold my hand and somebody to tell me to turn the TV off so I can tell them to F off. I'm playing Call of Duty tonight. I'm playing Call of Duty tonight. So, there we go.
Do you know what I do, Iain, when I get like that?
Go on.
What I do is I turn the television off, or just put it on mute, and I play some of my music. And, you know, some of the old stuff I used to listen to a long time ago, and it sometimes just sort of brings me round a bit.
What song would bring you round a bit?
An old Simple Minds tune, which I know that you're not a great fan of.
I thought you were going to say Northern Soul or something. He's going for Simple Minds.
Yeah. Sometime, somewhere in the summertime.
What's it called?
Favourites.
What?
Oh, somewhere, sometime.
Huh?
Summertime in the summertime. I can't remember the name of it. But
it's so sexy. Oh my my. Is it that it? I don't know. I was feeling a bit discombobulated. I feel like I just wasted the weekend, and I'm really enjoying streaming, and I'm really throwing myself into streaming on Twitch, and I'm enjoying that. And there are certain aspects of my life at the moment that I'm not enjoying a lot. I started doing a little bit of written work with my sponsor. There we go.
Right.
So I started doing a little bit of step one.
Do you know, I'm starting to get house proud now.
Oh.
So I've hoovered. All I need to do.
Does that mean he walks around naked?
Floor the not floor. What's that? Is to do the kitchen floor. You get the Dettol out and give it a bit of a scrub.
Yeah.
As well as the bathroom one, and then all my washing is washed, and I'm feeling like $1 million.
We got blocked pipes again. I got blocked pipes again. Some, I don't know. Here's the thing. I'm really tired, Alistair, and I'm having one of those periods where I'm just questioning everything that I'm doing. Right? I'm wondering. I'm serious about the Adam Sandler thing. Really serious that I think I can be in an Adam Sandler film by the end of this year. I mean it because I can feel. Alistair, you'll get this. I can feel my higher power. I can feel cosmic energy. This will sound like nuts to everyone, right? Kath sort of gets it. You'll kind of get it. I can feel things shifting, right? And I feel sort of like I felt when I was 21, 22, 23, that anything is possible. When I was 20, in my early 20s, I knew I was going to be on TV doing a comedy show wearing a suit. I could see it. Yeah. I could see me with a microphone in a grey suit in front of an audience. I could see it, right? And then the 11 o'clock show, I was wearing a grey suit and sitting in a microphone. And I have a similar kind of vibe now that I can see, can't quite see the specifics, but I can see right now that anything is possible, but you've got to, it won't happen for you. You've got to take it. Like Indiana Jones taking that ball in the Temple of Doom. You know, he takes the ball, he takes the gold trinket, and then he replaces it with a bag, and then the big ball follows him. And you saw that in the trailer, and everyone thought that was the movie. That was just like the opening of the movie, and the rest of it was rubbish. I feel like him, right? The gold thing is there, and I've just got to take it and replace it with a bag of sand that's equal weight, and then I've got to run. Or I'll be crushed by balls.
You're stealing it from a lost civilization.
Yeah, that's it.
It should be in a museum.
Yeah. So, does that make sense to anybody?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I absolutely subscribe to what you're saying. I mean, what I do is, wherever possible now, I try and give to others.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, tonight, a guy who kind of fallen off the wagon a bit, sort of done some coke and drank. I rang him last night to see how he was, and he kind of was not too bad, and then he texted me today saying, can you pick me up to go to the meeting? So yeah, absolutely fine. So I think, you know, and Iain, you're a wonderful giving person. Just continue to do that, man. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. My head is kind of switched off, and I feel very disengaged right this second with this show, with this radio show, for all kinds of reasons, and I need to sort that out because that's unfair to the listener.
So
go on.
You've been doing it a long time, haven't you?
Yeah.
And, you've gone through ups and downs with it, and you know it's natural you're going to feel that.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, you want to try and, I would imagine, make sure that you're going to be financially secure for any changes can occur. And I'm sure you'll find a way of doing it, because you talk about creativity. You're a very creative man.
I don't know. I don't know. Anyway.
Just try your best.
Thanks, man. Anyway, it's nice to talk to you, brother. I'll speak to you soon.
Okay.
Bye. I'm sounding a little bit psychedelic. My head is all over the shop at the moment, Katherine the boy. Very tired and just not sure what's the next step. I think it's quite common in men of my age, maybe of humans of my age. I don't know. I'm just speaking as a man who's approaching 47, man who's I can see 50, coming towards me at a rate of knots. I sort of have some freedom in that I've saved a little bit of cash, got a little bit of cash. I have some freedom in that I don't live with my kids. So there is, but it's just feel like something's waiting for me to grab it. There is an opportunity floating around me and I don't quite know what it is. And I need to grab it and go, right, I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. I don't know, this is words. Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Yeah, that's right. Good evening, Callum. No chihuahua. Headphones go on for this. Hello, Callum. Okay, playing the song that we played at the start of the show, yeah. That was it. Waited 20 minutes on the line to play... 20 minutes to play French Kisses.
I mean, it's a great jam. 20 minutes, though, come on.
I have nothing profound to offer today. I have nothing wise or deep. I would like to sleep for a month. I think that would be very helpful. Sleeping for a month, that opportunity may come at some point. I just don't know. Everything's so up in the air, isn't it? Everything's so up in the air, and it is very confusing. And got to be careful what I say. Catherine, what have you brought to the table today? Bearing in mind, we didn't turn up until 10 minutes before the show.
All right.
Which is unusual for us. Normally we turn up 3.5 hours before the show because we like to watch Naked Attraction. But we were at
We've seen them all now.
We've seen them all. Feels like it anyway. But we went and saw Nerina Pallot playing in a tiny private club. It was 30 people. It was amazing. We only got time to see 3 songs before we had to leave.
It was enough. It was worth the trip.
Oh, it was beautiful. She's cousin of one of the producers here, Mark Machado, which always amazes me because you see them together and it's like 2 cousins. And I see her and I kind of think, that's one of my favourite singer-songwriters ever.
Yeah.
And I get a little bit, oh, she knows my name. You know, I think she's so amazing. And just that voice. And seeing her playing an electric guitar today was nice. I've not seen that before. Oh, I think she's brilliant. So that's why we're late. That's why we're a little bit out of sorts with the show. You probably don't notice any difference. Probably the same rambling nonsense.
Here's the thing we kind of realised when we were coming back from that, and how, you know, it kind of lifted us going to do something different. We don't do it all the time. We couldn't do it all the time. Yeah.
We went out for dinner to a restaurant.
We were like normal people, you know, just being out and about. You've got to look for the joy, right? All these balls talk about Blue Monday, whatever it was supposed to be today. Nonsense.
Turns out that was an advertising campaign. Blue Monday.
It? Oh, well.
Yeah, I was reading the thing. Jeff Lloyd tweeted the thing. It was made up by someone to sell something. It was an advertising slogan.
Okay.
There's no truth in it whatsoever.
Of course there isn't. But there is a feeling of, right, into the new year, and here we are back on the hamster wheel again.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's really important to have little things to look forward to and to actually prioritise.
Art.
Prioritise treating yourself now and again, and it doesn't need to be an expensive thing.
This was free. It was this weird thing. I saw it on Twitter. Imani, Nerina retweeted it, and it's this little organisation called Golden Slippers. I think that's what it's called. Run by a woman called Jen. We'll get her on the show at some point. And she puts on these gigs in Blacks, which is a private members drinking club. But actually, I used to be a member of years ago. Took Steve Guttenberg there one night. Steve Guttenberg, but I'm not a member now. But you didn't have to be a member to go to this, and it's free. You just email and say, I'd like to come to this. And she goes, OK, your name's on the door. 30, maybe 40, maybe they squeeze 40 in, but it's a tiny room. Smaller than this studio that we're in. Maybe about the size of this studio. Mm-hmm. Maybe about the size. A little bit wider, perhaps. Not big room at all. So it's like someone's living room.
Yeah, there are about 4 rows of chairs.
Couple of sofas. The rest of like these kitchen chairs and stuff. And people have just sat there, and there was a young woman singer-songwriter on before. She was only 21. I can't remember her name, but I quite enjoyed her. But then Nerina Pallot, who's not one of the biggest stars in the world, but has certainly shifted a few records and certainly had hits. And she's playing in front of 35 people, and this is a regular thing that Jen puts on. They have these music nights, for free. Sometimes with quite big names like Nerina, sometimes names that you probably never heard of. But I thought it was incredible. I mean, she was enjoying us. It was a little bit tipsy, but good for her. There were some dogs there. It's a dog-friendly venue. But it was great, man. It's inspired me. I want to do a rabbit hole, which is the other show that we do, guys. I want to do the rabbit hole in someone's living room. That's what we're aiming towards now. That's what we're aiming towards. 0344 499 1000. Let's go to Sarah. Good evening, Sarah.
Hello, my darling. How are you?
Better than you. What's going on with your voice?
Yeah, I've had a big bad voice. I've had it for about 2 or 3 weeks, but it's getting there, but it's going, then it's coming, then it's going.
You know you're supposed to... I get laryngitis. I haven't had it for a while, actually.
Yeah.
For me, it's a throat thing and it's stress, right? And you're supposed to not say... Just not talk.
Not talk.
Not talk. Go and steam. I always go and steam. Go in a steam room and not talk. And it's great.
Me not talking, that's just not really the one that's going to happen.
Well, I know that it's not great for me, it means I don't get paid, but
it's not
you're a gobby so-and-so, and we respect that, Sarah. We respect your decision.
You're among friends.
What have you got for us?
I met you before. I've spoken to you a couple of times. I met you at the Library Theatre in Luton.
Oh, yeah, lovely. We're coming back there in September.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'll be there. Me and my friend Amanda will be there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be there, and I was with old Justin Dealey at the Luton game the other month.
Oh, that's a piece of trash. Hey, he's up. You know, we're up for a couple of awards.
I met that Hemel idiot.
Well, we're up for a couple of awards. He's up for an award as well.
Yeah, I do love him. He's a lovely bloke.
I think he's a brilliant. He's an undiscovered gem, or he's been discovered by someone.
He's an absolute legend. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
No, I phoned you about a couple of months ago when I went to Cyprus on holiday, and I come back from Cyprus and I got some random skin disease. And I was telling you about my feet, do you remember?
Yeah, I do. It was horrible. Weren't your feet, peeling off or something?
Yeah, I had, literally, massive blisters all over my feet, and I had to go to dermatology and all this and that. And
why are you reminding us about that? That was one of the worst calls I've ever taken in my life.
I know.
It was disgusting.
Well, no, ever since then, I can't feel I've got no sensation in my feet. I've got some sort of nerve damage that's gone on there, so I've got to go back to the doctors and get that sorted. But there you go. That's another.
Go and get that sorted, please.
Another story.
Yeah.
But no, I was absolutely cracking up listening to you lot tonight. I was sitting here on my own. My ex has walked out on me after 15 years, so I'm sitting on my own, and I'm just I love listening to you lot, but you two do crack me right up.
Hang on a minute. So, when did your ex walk out?
1st of July. 3 days before our 15th anniversary.
Oh.
And then I got coaxed into going to Cyprus with my friend because she's dying of cancer.
Yeah.
And like I told you, and then I got this skin disease thing, so I can't back there, end up in hospital for a week. Oh, mate.
You're having a bad old run.
Yeah, so, it's not been great. And my ex is a bit of a bell, so...
They often are, I find.
It's just, I'm just cracking on me and my kids, mate. I'm all right. I'm happy.
That's what it's all about. It's the kids, isn't it?
My little kids are happy as Larry. I'm happy with them.
If you can get a laugh out of it, not all the time. If you can have a laugh as well, then that's it. Oh, Sarah, I hope things pick up, and I'm glad that we're providing a little bit of entertainment for you. Big.
No, seriously, I was literally sitting there earlier just.
She said sitting.
I was literally belly aching. I was like, I love you lot. You do keep me going, honestly. Every night I was like, I'm not a telly person, I'm a radio girl. And it's like when I come to your show before at the thingy in Luton.
Yeah.
At the Library Theatre, and I'm the one that's James Whale girl. I love James.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but maybe mention that to the doctor as well. Hey, Sarah, listen, I've got to move on because I've got another call before the news. Take care of yourself. I hope things pick up a bit. What a terrible run of luck that she's having.
Poor feet.
Fraser.
Good evening, Ian.
Good evening, Fraser.
Good evening, Kath.
Hello, Fraser.
Yep. What you got?
I just wanted to... You told me to phone back in a week or so. I don't know if you remember. You blocked me on Twitter, but that doesn't matter now.
Remind me why I told you to... Remind me...
No, I just... you blocked me because I had a little bit of constructive criticism about people you saying that they weren't your friends and
That was it. You're staying. You're staying. Well, thank you very much. You've just reminded me, and yeah, you're staying blocked.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I've been suspended anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well, then there you go. What did you get suspended for?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh, come on, Fraser. Those idiots that go, well, I don't know why they closed my account. Just think back.
Well, it's been a couple of times. I do enjoy winding up Mike Graham's fanboys on his page. Anybody that has a go at Greta Thunberg, and especially with the Harry and Meghan thing,
yes.
I like to have a wind up about, so much hate. It really concerns me. There's not much we can do about this right wing kind of uprising that we're seeing in the media now, but I like to wind up people and
you're adding to it by winding them up.
Well, it's just a bit of fun. But anyway.
Obviously not, you're suspended.
Yeah.
Not contrition is something you struggle with, isn't it?
It really gets to me that the stuff that goes on in the other side of talk radio.
But then why did you ever go at me? And here's why you're staying blocked. Because it wasn't constructive criticism.
Yeah, it was. It was just a little bit of...
It wasn't, but this is it. That's how you see it. But that's not what it was, Fraser. That might be how you see it. What you need to do, and this was the problem last week, right, is you need... One thing I've learned to do is if I'm involved in a situation, an argument, or a verbal scuffle or something, what I've learned to do is to go and look at my part in it. And if I have done wrong, or if someone close to me says, well, actually, the way you phrased that could be a little bit... I accept that. And you seem completely unwilling and unable to consider that your choice of words might have been anything other than constructive criticism.
Right, okay. Your point is taken on board, and I agree that the point that I made could have been conceived from you as rude.
We got it.
It was conceived as rude.
It was.
Okay.
But that was a big step.
And it was.
I don't block you. I don't block you for that if you weren't suspended.
Okay. And I apologise because it probably made you feel like.
There you go, Fraser. This isn't what an incredible turnaround. If you weren't, I would unblock you now because that's all I wanted, man. That was it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Probably made you feel like. It probably made you feel bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it did.
Okay.
All right. Don't wind up the mic. I know exactly what you mean about some of the other voices here, and I have to watch my tongue.
It really gets to me. It really does.
Me too, brother. Me too. But we got 3 hours of light and joy and liberalism and left of centre here. Daryl Morris, who's on afterwards, is one of the good guys as well, and I focus on that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what my daughter says to me. She says to me that you should ignore everything that's going on over there. Ignore it, don't listen to it, and then you won't be annoyed by it.
Here's the thing, Fraser, you're not going to change their minds.
Yeah.
And you getting involved is only going to wind yourself up.
Yeah, good point.
You're not going
Fraser,
to change
nice to talk to you, man. Thank you very much indeed. There we go. You see, if only everybody was...
reasonable.
Reasonable. The switchboard's empty. I think we just did an hour of radio, though I'd be hard pushed to tell you what it was about. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you'd be very welcome. We'll take calls about absolutely anything that you fancy. This is the Late Night Alternative. There is no radio show like this in the world. We're here every weeknight from 10 on Talk Radio. I'm Iain Lee. Who are you, lady?
So sexy. Oh, my.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
That was shock.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with Farrah. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine. I've been on fire with Sally Field, gone fast with a girl named Bo, but somehow they just don't end up as mine. It's a death-defying life I lead. I take my chances. I die for living in the movies and TV. But the hardest thing I never do is watch my leading ladies kiss some other guy while I'm bandaging my knee. I might fall from a tall building, I might roll a brand new car, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that made Redford such a star. I've never spent much time in school, but I taught ladies plenty. It's true, I hire my body out for pay. Hey, hey, I've gotten burned over Cheryl Teagues, blown up for Raquel Welch. But when I wind up in the hay, it's only hay. Hey, hey, I might jump an open drawbridge or Tarzan from a vine, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that makes Eastwood look so fine.
Here's what I want to do, is I want to have the balls to walk away from working for people. I want to have the balls, you've got a hair in your mouth, I want to have the balls to walk away from working for people and have 4 months of trying to make a go of Twitch, which is this streaming thing that I'm doing, of trying to have a go at making my own podcast, of trying to do something that is me, is me, and comes from me. Now that's a gamble, man. That's a gamble, because I've got mortgage payments, I've got maintenance payments, I've got kids, I've also got a few quid in the bank, which would get me through, you know, a few lean 5, 6, 7 months, which is an incredibly privileged position to be in. But that's what I want to do, is go and set up my new PC if it ever arrives for the scumbags, and stream and make my own shows and do little Skype phone-ins, and we did a funny one today where I watched a clip of me dancing for comic relief. Just do stuff like that. That's what I think. But is there enough money in there to feed my kids? That's the question. That's the question. God, you wait till the book comes out. There's so much on the tip of my tongue, but instead of spitting that out, let's speak to James. Good evening, James.
Good evening. Greetings and salutations to Kath and to Iain. Greetings.
Gosh, we got a posh knob on the phone.
I'm not a posh knob. Okay, I'm a little bit of a poshy knob. But yeah, it's not my fault.
It's not your fault. Certainly not your fault. Do you know Lawrence Fox personally? What's the deal?
No, I don't. I don't know how I felt about the question time thing, to be honest. I kind of, I wonder whether he was doing it for a bit of publicity. And it's obviously worked. Well, it's obviously worked in that he's aligned himself now with the right-wing stroke extreme right-wing, and there's a lot of money to be made there. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Katie Hopkins idea, I mean, that's her biggest fear, Katie Hopkins, is she's not going to be in the papers. So, have you noticed how literally she'll say nothing, and then and won't be in the papers for a while, and then comes out with some absolute tripe, something violent racist, and then it's like, oh, guess what? Look, she's in the papers again, and her Twitter followers have gone, like, through the roof and everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just deliberate. It's just noise. It's just absolute noise. Yeah, absolutely well. So, I was going to say about the chap you just had on, I don't think he realised he was part of the problem at all.
Go on.
Well, I just don't think he was contrite. I don't think he's saying like, oh, just wind people up. What's the point of winding people up? Whether they disagree with you or not, it's just a bit unkind. Well, it's very unkind. And it was only when you actually said, Kath, oh, that was rude and that was upsetting, that he then sort of said, oh, sorry, and
well, but the thing that he sent me is slightly different. That goes one side, but if you're saying it's a bit unkind, but if people are being openly racist and openly misogynistic and bullying a 17-year-old young woman, that's even more unkind. Now, I don't know what he was tweeting. I don't know what he was saying. It was obviously something quite unpleasant to get suspended. Possibly a C-bomb. A C-bomb will get you suspended. Calling someone a nonce will not get you suspended. But is there not an argument for pricking the pomposity of the extreme right, the middling right, racists, and calling them out?
I know calling out racism, absolutely, and that's wrong. Whether you're right or left, it's wrong. Period. Full stop. And I don't think there's anything wrong with pricking and and teasing. But it's when it gets more than that. And also with the whole Greta thing, what is that about? And it tends to be like white middle-aged men that I am are just vile to essentially a child. That's messed up. That is seriously, seriously messed up. The crime that Greta Thunberg has is that, I don't know, she cares about the planet. I mean, what are these people on?
I don't get it, right? Since Brexit, before Brexit, there's been a lot of anger kind of bubbling away, but people would be quite polite about it and generally wouldn't let it out. Since Brexit, it's Pandora's box. And this anger is out there now, and you can now say whatever you want. You can be racist, you can be homophobic, you can be disableist, and now a lot of people in quite high-profile jobs will pat you on the back and go, well done. So there's this hatred out there. I mean, for me, the prime example is Piers Morgan, right?
Yeah.
Who's just vile.
He's starting to actually be on the edge of Katie Hopkins-esque.
Yeah.
I think he is starting to say some stuff that it's a bit like, oh, could that be because you want to get even more likes on your Twitter following, which is millions anyway? It's a bit weird.
The whole thing with Meghan Markle and Piers Morgan is obscene and absurd and is harassment. But Catherine, you were telling me, double check what you were telling me.
Yeah, hang on.
Because I met Piers Morgan, he was very, very pleasant to me. But what he says is awful, right? Is obnoxious. And he says it, you know why he says it? Because he gets paid millions of pounds to say it. And people love it. People absolutely love it. But his bullying and I don't get, and I said this last week, James, I do not get why people are so angry about Meghan Markle and her husband. I cannot, for the life of me, I could understand like some extreme royalists being disappointed, right? That a branch of the monarchy is kind of falling off.
Yeah, I get that. Like, I'm a little bit sad. But I'm a little bit sad because I'm a bit of a royalist and everything else.
But actual anger directed towards them. I don't get it.
Yeah, no, and actually, do you know what? My view on it is that I think it's sad. I think that, I do have a bit of, well, I paid for the cottage. Well, they're paying that back.
They're paying it back?
So they're paying it back. I don't think they can be HRH because they're not doing the job. Well, they're not going to be HRH. So what's the living problem?
My 10-year-old son is very insightful. Yeah. My 10-year-old son is very insightful. And I said to the boys the other day, what do you think about what's happening with Meghan and Harry? My 8-year-old said, I don't care. 10-year-old said, I'm not really bothered. Will we still be paying them with tax? And I said, where'd you get that from? Your grandmother? He said, no, from Newsround. And I said, it's looking very unlikely. This was before kind of the big announcement had been made. I said, it's looking very unlikely we'll be paying them with our taxes. He said, well, then they're fine. Then they're free to do whatever they want to do. And that's it. That's it.
Isn't it wonderful? Like 10-year-olds specifically, actually, I know my 10-year-old so switched on. Like they say stuff and they just get to the crux of the matter.
Are we paying them? No. Well, then they can do what we want. That is it. Why would you get angry about it unless A, you're a racist? I don't think everybody who's angry with them is a racist. I think some of them are. Or, now, Kath, have you found?
Yeah, this is
Listen to this, James.
This article by Alan Rusbridger opened up another option that I hadn't thought about, and I don't think many people had. This is an article in The Guardian. In fact, it was The Observer this weekend. There's a reason why the royals are demonised, but you won't read all about it. Now, I'm going to come in about halfway through this. Okay, none of the major players filtering the story for our consumption is exactly a disinterested bystander. All three of the major newspaper groups most obsessed with Harry and Meghan are themselves being sued by the couple for assorted breaches of privacy and copyright. There is, to any reasonable eyes, a glaring conflict of interest that for the most part goes undeclared. Here's a really interesting bit. For some years now, largely unreported, Two Chancery Court judges have been dealing with literally hundreds of cases of phone hacking against MGN Limited and News Group, the owners respectively of the Daily Mirror and The Sun, as well as the defunct News of the World. The two publishers are between them forking out eye-watering sums to avoid any cases going to trial in open court. Because the newspaper industry lobbied so forcefully to scrap the second part of the Leveson inquiry, which had been due to shine a light on such matters, we can only surmise what is going on. But there are clues. Mirror Group, now Reach, had by July 2018 set aside more than $70 million to settle phone hacking claims without risking any of them getting to court. The BBC reported last year that the Murdoch titles had paid out an astonishing $400 million in damages and calculated the total bill for the two companies could eventually reach £1 billion.
Hi, Chihuahua.
Last October, hang on, here's the bit.
Here we go.
Last October, Prince Harry added his own name to the list of people claiming they've been hacked by both The Sun and The Mirror. To understand why this is, to put it mildly, a bombshell, you'd need to be following the patient work of Mr Justice Mann and before him Mr Justice Voss in the anonymous Rolls building, home to the Chancery Court just off London's Strand. Publicly available documents detail the alleged involvement of Rupert Murdoch's son James and the reinstated CEO of News UK, Rebecca Brooks, in suppressing or concealing the true extent of wrongdoing within the Murdoch titles. The Sun's official position is to not admit any unlawful activity while simultaneously shelling out enormous sums so this position can never be tested. And it goes on talking about what's going on at Mirror Group. And further legal action by Meghan against associated newspapers claiming assorted breaches of copyright, privacy and data. Anyway, so it says, so when reading about Harry and Meghan, it really does pay to keep your wits about you. There is a surface level to the story, not all of it untrue, and there are many anonymous sources of varying degrees of reliability to give colour and context. And in the background, there are quite a lot of worried newspaper executives and former editors who have absolutely zero interest in treating the couple kindly or even-handedly.
There you go.
Of course, and absolutely with no libelous intention at all, and very, very important. And it's just by the by. Wasn't Piers Morgan? Wasn't he editor of a Trinity Mirror paper, The Mirror? It's got no link to that at all. Naturally, of course.
It's a strange coincidence, isn't it?
There's quite a big picture of him next to this article.
Oh, is there? And that happens. And that happens. And you know what it's like? I mean, when you do nothing wrong, you give out £500 million. I mean, sometimes it happens. This indeed is sometimes the case. Yeah,
here's a tiny little thing that there is a tiny slither of light, right? And this is going to sound like a slight humble brag. I get, but it's not meant as such, right? We do this tiny little silly cultish show, James, that aims, doesn't always get there, but aims to be nice and friendly, right? Yeah. We're up for two really big awards. Indeed. Two Speech Broadcaster of the Year, me and Kath, and Radio Moment of the Year, right? I'm not blowing my own trumpet. What that says to me is, A, that me and Kath are doing something right, and B, there is a market somewhere for things just to be all right and to be nice and to create a safe environment where people can phone up and talk about mental health, can talk about alcoholism, can phone up when they're suicidal, can phone up and do impressions of Paul McCartney saying grab pussy. That there is room and a demand, however small, for stuff that isn't pointing the finger at a mixed race woman and blaming her for tearing the country apart. There is room for that.
Absolutely, and that's why, I love what you guys do, and it's amazing. And the only thing I'd say, which I know you mentioned, Ian, which I think is such a real shame about, is it Area Awards, or I probably have said it wrong, was that they just had your name on, which is such a shame.
No, it should be Katherine.
Because without a doubt, when you're on your own, it's not as good. When Katherine's on her own, she's very good, but a different type of show. Together, you are amazing, and you can hear the friendship that you have. You can hear it over the airwaves, and I think everybody that's kind of on the hashtag TLNA will probably agree. You guys are incredible.
Thank you very much. Stay there, Alex. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Experience the unconventional.
Hello.
The unpredictable.
Don't you think that's a bit weird?
And the completely unorthodox.
It was my birthday.
With rule-free Iain Lee.
I was just trying to generate a bit of content.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Hate alarm clock. Hate going to work.
On Talk Radio.
Evening, Alex.
Good evening, sir.
What you got?
So, I've got a bit of a prediction.
Here we go.
Re Harry and Meghan, right?
Yes.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'll give it a year. 2 max. Because the bottom line is she doesn't need him, right? She's got what...
Why are you being so mean?
No, I'm not. Honestly,
no, you are. You're being mean. Yeah, it may not last a year because of all the pressure that they're under. But no. They may not last a year because of all the pressure that they're under. But saying it won't last a year because she doesn't need him.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you phone up and tell? Why would you phone up and say that?
I'm not enjoying it. It's just a theory.
But why would you share that? Why would you share that theory? It's a really mean, unsubstantiated theory.
Because I looked you up, saw the show was on, just started listening, heard what you were talking about, and I thought
you'd throw some darkness into
it. Sorry?
You thought you'd throw a little bit of darkness.
I mean, I don't know, it's a talk show, it's a bit of this and that, it's not trying to, it's just that I just thought, that's what they're talking about, let me dive in there with my theory.
But why? But it's a horrible theory. Why would you want to...
No, it's not, if it's, look, reality is not horrible.
Well, no, it's a guess. Guessing. No. Okay, here's the thing, you've got no idea, you're just guessing, right? It's a really mean guess. Might be right, but it's a really mean guess. So why would you share that on a public forum?
Because, well, you can't, I mean, you know, we're not in Disneyland here, right? It's not.
No, but you're making something up. You have no idea. Okay, what's your evidence for this?
Experience.
Experience of what? Millionaire
people.
Actresses? Experiences of the royal family? Experience of what?
People.
Experience of people who've just got married for love?
Well, I mean, you know, how often does that happen nowadays?
It happens quite a lot. I married my wife for love. Didn't last.
Right.
Right.
There you go.
What do you mean there you go? It didn't last, not because she didn't need me.
So,
here's the thing, right? You've got no idea. You're guessing. And honestly, sounds like a rubbish guess. But why would you want to... It's already a very dark situation, right? It's a very, very angry situation, very tense. People are being very, very mean, right? You know that people are being mean about her, yeah? And him, right?
Listen, I don't have any great objection to Harry.
But you have objection to her. Royal. Why do you have objections to her?
I don't...
Well, okay, you specifically said you don't have any objections to Harry when I was specifically talking about both of them.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I don't know much about her. It's just...
Well, then you don't know that she doesn't... But yet you've made the assumption that she doesn't need him.
Right.
But you don't know anything about her.
But let me put this to you, right? You have an experience...
No, because you're just going to throw more darkness into an already very dark story.
It's not. It's just...
I bet it's
to back
dark.
up my theory. No, it won't be.
I don't want to hear your theory. It sounds like rubbish.
No, it won't be...
Will it be less or more rubbish than the previous theory?
Hold on, you just said, you know, you've just blown your own trumpet about how this is an open show, anybody can phone in and feel...
Where it's a night, no, you weren't listening, Alex, and I'm starting to suspect that's part of your problem. About how this is I think I used the phrase safe place, I put that in inverted commas, but how it's nice, how the shows, a lot of radio shows are divisive and are pointing the finger and creating fear and anger, and this show doesn't do that, and yet you're about to, basically, saying she doesn't need him sort of implies she's a gold digger.
No.
You're saying the marriage will be over in a year because she doesn't need him?
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
Because it's what I think.
Okay, but why would you want to throw... Well, here's what I'm saying. Why would you want to throw more darkness into an already very dark story?
It's not dark.
It is dark, mate. I don't know if you've read any of the coverage. It's obscene.
I mean, that you think you think they've got their life hard, yeah? I mean,
yes,
you know.
Yes, I do. Not in the same way as people are on food using food banks. Not in the
Right, exactly. Let's get a bit
they're on the front page of the newspapers every day. A lot of the press is being racist about that guy's wife, and the majority of people seem to hate them. Yes, it's tough. It's tough in a different way. They may have millions of pounds. You know, millionaires kill themselves sometimes, right? You know that, yeah?
Probably not as a higher rate as poor people.
I don't think you have the statistics for that. I don't think we have the statistics for that.
I don't think you do either, Ian.
No, exactly. That's why I said, Alex. And again, listening is your real issue. I don't think we have the statistics on that.
Okay, but look, you want people to call in, I don't know, with
not with mean, nasty guesses. No, I don't. I've never said that I do.
No, it's just a theory. Right?
Well, it's a horrible theory. Why would you? And I'll ask you again. Why would you want to share that mean theory that points the finger of accusation at her? Why would you want to share that?
Because it's a phone-in show.
Yeah, but it's not a phone-in show. This isn't Mike Graham or LBC. This is a phone-in show where you will get challenged on bullshit.
Yeah, but you haven't even let me... Listen, it's the first time I've called... Well, as you probably know, it's the first time I've called up, right? I just checked out the station. Whatever you were...
I don't care. The station won't be in it here in a month, mate, so I don't really care. You are phoning up...
You're asking me why I called up, right? No, let me say something, right? You're saying that you seem to think I'm coming from some sort of dark place, but what if...
You said they're going to split up in a year because she doesn't need him.
Well,
that's
that might
quite
be reality.
mean. That's quite mean.
It's not mean if it's the truth.
No, it's not the truth, Alex. It's a guess.
You don't know that, and neither do I.
No, exactly, because it's a guess. I know that it's a guess, because you told me.
No, look, if you'll let me say what I was trying to say before, right? Look, you come into contact with someone who you've never met before. You come to certain conclusions, right? We all do it all the time, whether they're going to be any benefit to you, no good to you at all, whatever, right? So... it's just a theory, and we'll see if it It's not. This phone call isn't going to make the difference. I'm sure they're not.
No, it's not going to make a difference. But what is making a difference is you are spewing out more darkness and more bile that points the finger of accusation at her into a world when there's already a lot of darkness and bile around this story. We don't need any more.
But look, I mean, it might be the case. So you want to put a nice edge on it. You want to put a kind of soft edge on it. You want to...
I don't know what you... Alex, you're talking absolute nonsense, mate. I don't know what you think you phoned in, but I don't think you're up... With respect, I don't think you're up to it, mate.
Well, as I say, I haven't listened before, right?
Okay, I suggest... Here's my suggestion. Put the phone down, listen for the next month or so, and then try then, okay?
But the station won't be there then.
Well, then, but you'll still have learnt a lot of skills that you don't have now.
Well, listen, mate. You know, that's you. You've got the old fader or dumb
oh God!
Whatever you want to
I forgot I have. Yeah, I wish you'd reminded me that earlier. I'd have used it. Thank you, Alex. I knew there was a way I could stop listening to that absolute drivel, but I couldn't remember what it was. It was the fader. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Cheers. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Set free your mind. Let your fancy take flight. Conversation gets curiouser by the glow of moonlight. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. Is the telephone number if you want to give us calls, which is great, is when I get tweets that are sent to Talk Radio, I can block it so I don't see them. So thank you, Jane. I blocked from my personal account ages ago because you're a bell cheese. Dear God, what's going on? Oh, man, everyone just have a second just to chill out. Let's all just chill out. For crying out loud. All right, everybody, just cool out. 0344 499 1000. That's the telephone number if you want to give us a call. And if you've just tuned in, you're very welcome to call in, but this isn't a phone-in show where we go, yeah, no, I think she's a cow. Yeah, no, I think you're right. They'll split up. You're going to get challenged if you talk, as that previous caller did, absolute tripe. You will get pulled up on it. And if you tweet me nonsense, I'll block you. That's where I'm at today, guys. That is totally where I'm at. 0344 499 1000. Let's go to Dean. Good evening, Dean.
How are you?
I wish I was at home in bed, Dean, having a good old cry. How are you?
I've just got home, so I'm going to have a good cry now.
Do it, mate. Do it.
Yeah. I'd just like to say that I'm a Republican. I've got nothing against the royal family. I think the Queen does an amazing job, and most of the others do. Harry and Meghan, good luck to them. Let them go. Leave them alone, because they've had enough. They've had enough poo thrown at them by our media. You know.
Yeah.
It's disgraceful. I really do.
Exactly. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go. Who cares? And then there's a big thing on the front page of the Mail. Oh, they might get a deal with Netflix. They want to start a production company and get a deal with Netflix. I thought that's what we wanted. Everyone was going, well, they've got to pay their own way. Well, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, if they pay their own way, why shouldn't they go and parade themselves around in the United States as, the Harry and Meghan show or something, you know?
I'd probably, if they did a little podcast, I'd probably subscribe to that for the first few, then get bored of it and not listen anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck to them. That's all I say.
Thank you, Dean.
I'm a Republican, but I don't wish anybody any harm. I never have done.
Dean, I challenge you to a fight.
I live in a village that is very conservative.
Dean.
So I have to be a quiet Republican.
Dean, I challenge you to a fight.
Yeah.
I want a karate fight.
Yeah, I'm in a wheelchair. Would that be fun?
Easy. It makes it even easier. I will nunchuck the bejesus out of you.
Why not? Why not?
Dean, thank you very much indeed, mate. The reason he's in a wheelchair, which he won't share with you, is because I beat him up in a previous fight. That's how he ended up in that wheelchair. That's what happened there. Have you looked for any news stories today? Let's have some, because I ain't got a team.
This is horrible, right? A bid to erect a statue in tribute to the Elephant Man in Leicester has been stymied by critics who say the city is ugly enough, according to reports.
Oh, no.
Aren't people
John,
nice?
what's his name? John?
Joseph Merrick.
John.
Became world famous due to a rare genetic disorder that's thought to have caused his severe deformities. His appearance gave rise to the nickname that followed him to his death in Leicester in 1890 at the age of 27. He remains a source of curiosity, as the exact causes of his condition is a mystery amongst medical experts to this day. Here we go. Critics have already put roadblocks to the idea of having a statue in his hometown, labelling it a freak show and claiming the city is ugly enough. The reaction has dismayed Mrs. Viger Mungavin, who's behind the idea. Yeah.
What's her name?
Viger Mungavin.
Mrs. Viger Mungavin.
It's a double-barrelled name.
Okay.
Who told the broadcaster she felt progress on a fitting tribute to Merrick had been roadblocked by prejudice. She said there is a fear of what the statue would be like, but he was an inspirational figure. The statue has reportedly received backing from artist and disability campaigner Alison Lapper, who told the statue's critics to get over it. Of course, she's the person who was born without arms, and she's got shortened legs, and she had a statue of her naked and pregnant form on Trafalgar Square.
Good, I like that. People complained about that, so it was disgusting.
Yeah.
That's terrible human beings.
Yeah. When she said that experience means that she sympathises with how hard it must have been for Merrick in his day.
Yeah.
So, and then this article just goes into the history of him. But, yeah, what a thing where that is still a big deal.
I watched the film The Elephant Man, starring John Hurt, when I was too young for it. I think I was about 12 when I watched it. And it's, I don't really remember it. I remember it being hard work. And, of course, who played the Elephant Man in the musical on Broadway? Well, there's a question. The Elephant Man musical on Broadway.
I don't know.
David Bowie.
Oh.
David Bowie is the Elephant Man tonight on Broadway. Only lasted about a week, I think, and it got terrible reviews.
It was a musical.
Yeah.
Flipping it.
I'm an Elephant Man. And I said the station's closed. I said we won't be here in a month. I don't know what the people are going, what, you're going in a month? I've got absolutely no idea, and that's part of the problem. No one knows what's going on, and that's part of the issue. Maybe we'll get an answer at some point. I just don't know. Here's the thing, I'm really worried that everything I'm saying tonight is getting us in trouble. I'm really worried. That everything I'm saying is I'm going to get a phone call tomorrow saying, right, Ian, got a list. Number 1, French kisses. We are not Kiss. Stop playing it. Number 2, you said the station was closing down in a month. We told you not to speculate about that on air. Number 3, this is what I'm worried. This is where it makes it really hard. I'll get in trouble for this as well. It makes it really hard to be able to do the kind of free-flowing radio show that we do, that you guys like, that won an award, that's nominated for 2 more awards. When I'm constantly second-guessing, like, am I allowed to say that? Will I get told off for saying that? Well, this little piece, this little skit that I'm doing here, which is grounded in some reality, will this get me in trouble? I just don't know anymore.
Yeah.
It drives me, I can only speak for me, it drives me absolutely nuts, guys. It drives me absolutely nuts. And I don't want to be, who is that, terribly sad. I mean, it's funny, but it's sad because the woman, it turns out, was an alcoholic. The woman, her last day on the radio, she's, people have been saying I'm drunk. I've had a bit to drink. I'm not drunk.
Yeah, terrible.
He's Roy Orbison. And it's funny because it happened and it went out, but she was an alcoholic. It transpired, and I don't think it was the first time she'd done that. But I feel like her. You know, kind of really second-guessing everything.
Yeah.
That I'm saying, and what can I do? And and it's easy for the other shows because you do Plank of the Week, and you got Ash, and you talk about HS2, and you get Lawrence Fox on to get everyone excited and all of that. And that's not the show that we do. Our show is a very honest show. It's a very straightforward, kind of what you see is what you get, with about maybe 18% of it is heightened performance. I don't know, tonight's show feels like a real stinker. Feels like a real stinker. So, how are we going to turn this around and turn this into the radio gold that I know that we can create and that you guys want? Let's play some ads early. When we come back, gold. This is Talk Radio.
Stimulating nightly emissions guaranteed to open your eyes and your mind.
Oh, my word.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
David!
Hello, Ian. Hello, Kath.
Kath has popped out to get a little air.
Oh, right. We can talk about music then, can't we?
we can talk about music. Here's the thing, Dave. It's nice to talk to you, man. I'm glad it's you. Tonight's not fun for me or Kath. Tonight isn't fun. Normally it's fun, right? And there's something about tonight that is not fun. And that is like my spidey sense.
It started fun.
It started fun. Oh, and listen, I'm sure it's sounding okay. You know, because a lot of people said they're enjoying it. I'm sure it's sounding okay, but it ain't fun for us tonight. That's the rub.
What do you think that is? That you can talk about.
I can't talk about it. I just don't know. Anyway, Dave, my fine-for-fendered friend, what have you got for us?
The David Bowie on Broadway wasn't a musical, it was a play.
Screw you! How dare you! I'm glad that Kat's not here to hear you correcting me.
But if you remember, there was a film called The Tall Guy with Jeff Goldblum in it.
My mate, Jeff Goldblum, yes.
Yeah, and that had a musical in it about the Elephant Man called Elephant!
Oh, that's maybe what I'm thinking of.
Which had the song Somewhere Up in Heaven, There's an Angel with Big Ears. Yeah, that was the cracking joke.
I tell you, the films that should have been good that were rubbish, right? Morons from Outer Space.
Yeah.
But there's a great bit in it where someone is hitting someone over the back of a head, right? And the guy keeps going, Ow! What are you doing that for? Stop it! And he's going, what are you doing? I'm trying to knock him out. Because obviously in films, you hit someone over the back of the head, they crumple to the floor, and this guy's going, stop! Will you stop doing that? That's the only bit I can remember being any good.
I remember seeing it years ago and not remember anything about it at all.
Yeah, it was.
But the trivia with the Bowie thing was always that John and Yoko had tickets for it the night after he was shot, and so did Mark Chapman.
No,
because Bowie was his second choice.
No,
yeah.
All right, who was the rock star that Mark Chapman met the day before, or maybe the day bumped into him, physically bumped into him the day before or the day that he shot John Lennon?
I can't remember.
There is a young cowboy who lives on the range. My name's James Taylor. It's James Taylor.
Yeah,
it was James Taylor. Wow.
Yeah, so there was always that thing that there were 3 empty seats that night.
Gosh,
the night
I didn't
after,
know that,
which was John and Yoko and Mark Chapman. Yeah, Bowie was second on his list.
How long was this? Sounds morbid, but how long was the list? Was it just 2?
Well, it was ever was in New York he could go, but he thought Bowie was also another sort of phony sort of guy, and that's why Bowie sort of moved to Switzerland sort of straight after, because he was like, I don't want to be around anything, any sort of people that could get at me, because it was known that, I think they found in the notes that were in his apartment they had, he had pictures of Bowie and a ticket for the night after. So
I did not know that.
Yeah. That's my nerdy...
Dave just called in to congratulate me on getting everything right about that David Bowie and the Elephant Man musical story. Isn't that right, Dave? Thanks.
Yes. Everything was correct.
Everything was absolutely spot on, and he's not correcting me on any part of it whatsoever.
Oh, good.
Yes. That's good. Anything else, David?
I don't believe so. I just wanted to make sure you got that you knew you were right. That's all.
Thank you, Dave. Check your DMs. Thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You'd be very, very welcome. It's Monday night. You feeling a bit better? You want to got a little bit of fresh air? Sword of Damocles. Sword of Damocles. Like
I've had a stinker of a couple of weeks, I'm going to say it.
Go on. Well, your aunt passed away.
Yeah. My mum's twin, which kind of makes it, made it a little, I don't know, can it be worse? It was worse.
I think I would imagine that a twin does make it worse. It's certainly. I would imagine a twin is worse for the sibling that survives, as opposed to just a normal brother or sister, which must be horrendous.
Yeah.
But it highlights the mortality of the surviving twin.
Yeah. And as with most real families, they had a real relationship, and it was complicated, and there's 4 sisters, and the relationship there is complicated and honest and emotional, and some ups and some downs. And I wasn't sure how my mum, because we kind of moved away from the family and we're not so in it as everybody else. And you can kind of con yourself that everything is fine and everyone is fine when you don't live in a certain area. And so it's always kind of a shock when you get a reality check like that. Then maybe you're missing bits. And so that's why I went back to Manchester at the end of last week. And it was a beautiful send-off. The place was absolutely packed. Loads of people had loads of really lovely things to say about my auntie. My poor mum was in bits. She's one of these people that sort of copes. And so you never quite know how she's dealing with things until it gets to the point where there's kind of, a necessary explosion. And it was just... she needed to. We all needed to go and confront it and be together as a family. But I feel so bad for my mum.
Have you spoken to her about it since you got back?
No.
Is she the kind that speaks about these things?
No, and that's what I worry about, because that's the sort of person who thinks they can outrun it, and you can't. Can you with grief? It's going to get you whatever happens. So I think I'm going to have to corner her at some point and and talk to her. But yeah, anyway, so that's kind of what's been going on, and it's just been a stinker.
You should smoke a joint with your mum.
Oh my God!
You know, I got stoned with my mum once.
I know you did, but that was for medical reasons.
Well, I mean, I didn't. It was her medical reason. I didn't have to get stoned with her. I made tea. May have been skunk tea. I don't know.
Oh my God!
We watched Countdown. She was giggling all the way through Countdown. I don't think this has had any effect on me whatsoever. Telling me all the family secrets.
Really?
All the family secrets. Yeah. I had 2 aunts that I didn't know about because my nan gave them away.
Oh.
Before my mum always thought she was the eldest, but there were 2 before her.
Right.
And I've only met one of them. I didn't really get on.
And are
with
they sort of full sisters or half?
Don't think we know.
Right.
I don't
Not that
know.
it matters.
I think one is full. I think one is half. And I met one of them at a wedding, and she insisted I call her Auntie Sue.
Ah.
And I said, nah, I'm not going to do that. Not until I get to know you a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a real fusser. And there's no vegetarian meal for me at the wedding, so I was a vegetarian. And she insisted. She sat next to her. Oh, at first she said, I recognise you off the telly. I'm your Auntie Sue. No, you're not. You're not yet. You've got to earn that. And I have a real problem with, like, half-brothers and sisters and things anyway, because my dad, had loads of kids and stuff.
Yeah.
And she was sat next to me, and there was no vegetarian meal, and she insisted that they make me an omelette. I was going, honestly, it's fine. No, I said, honestly, really, seriously, look, could you just F off and leave it?
What, really?
I think so, something like that. Because she was really fussing, and I didn't like it.
Mm.
Never spoke to her since.
So I'm suggesting she's probably trying to get her auntie in duties all in at once in the space of
this was
whatever time that
this
was.
This would have been 17 years ago, 16 years ago. Not 17 years. I don't speak to any of my family. Here's the thing. I do not speak to any of my family. I speak to my sister, I speak to my mum. That is it. Don't speak to my mum's family because it's a couple of aunts who, one of them kicked off because I invited one of my mum's cousins to my wedding. She kicked off about it. And as I was going off to cut the cake, Iain, can I have a word? No, I'm going off to cut the wedding cake. And then they got very upset with me for forcing mum to go into a care home. Forced mum to go into a care home. So they don't talk to me. And my dad's side, when I was 15, I made the decision. My dad moved out. I wasn't going to speak to them anymore. Awful decision. And I hold my mum partly responsible for it. It was my decision, but partly I hold my mum because she should have said, "Look, you're an angry boy, angry young man, right? Don't turn your back on your nan and granddad." And I never saw him again. And I do wish she had, from time to time, picked me up on that, and she didn't. She let me make that decision, and that was that decision, and it was never discussed again, and it was a terrible decision. And then when my dad was dying, maybe 6 years ago, I saw my aunts and uncles. I was with my sister, and my aunt was coming up the path. I went, oh, this is going to be awkward. And it wasn't. It was really lovely, really nice. My Aunt Hazel. And we got on really, really well. And then she died, 4 months later. She got leukemia and died. And I've really struggled, and this is now me, to reconnect with my dad's side of the family. And that includes my uncles and aunt that are still alive, and my cousins, and my half-brothers and sisters, who are really lovely people. Really, really lovely people. But there is something in me, it's not pride, fear. I heard a great thing at, there's fear that stopped me. I had a great share. Got terrible indigestion. Great share at a meeting the other day, right? And it was one of those, every now and then you'll hear something, doesn't break in any anonymity. You'll hear something, you go, whoa, that is me. Yeah. That's what it is. And it was a fellow sharing about their alcohol and drug addiction. And they said, everything I did was driven by fear or desire. And that was it. Fear or desire. I'm terrified of going to work, so I'm going to go and do cocaine. I want to I want that person, so I'm going to do everything I can to sleep with that person. I want this. I'm terrified of this. All reasons to live a very, very unhealthy life. Fear and desire. That's it, man. That's it, as opposed to, thinking about others. Fear and desire, two very selfish emotions. Anyway, I'm going off on a ever so slight tangent there. That's by the by. Let's go to the United... Oh, we got a call from the United States of America. Chuck Winkle.
Wow. Lovely to hear you opening up there. And I gotta tell you, lovely to hear you opening up there. I was gonna suggest that I take you a little bit of ease off you both and take you up to the news, but you did a good job of it anyway.
Okay, well, we're not going up to the news yet. We've got 6 minutes.
6 minutes. Want to kick your feet off and I just talk about the US news for 6 minutes?
Oh, away you go.
Right, well, I'm watching the news.
No, hang on a minute. When you say you're talking about the US news, I don't think you meant you were just going to tell us what was happening on the news that you're watching. I thought you, as an American correspondent, you'd know about this.
Yeah, I could do my little spin on it.
What?
There's been a baby boom. And lots of cute little pictures of babies flashing up on the screens. And here comes 19 caregivers at the same hospital give birth to 19 babies.
Right.
The little cutie faces on the screen there.
Right. Cutie faces on a screen is not really news.
They're crawling towards the camera.
Right, they're brand new, freshly born babies and they're crawling.
Or the caregivers. Wait, who's crawling?
Wait a minute. The 19 caregivers, I don't know what a caregiver is.
But why are you talking about it?
Because it's on my screen.
Okay. Kath, do you want to...
What's a caregiver?
Someone who gives care. And I don't, about this report.
I'm guessing kind of a nursing professional of some kind?
So you're reckoning maybe it's 19 nurses at the same hospital give birth to 19 babies?
What's the latest... I suggest the doctor needs to be questioned. What's the latest on Trump's impeachment?
Trump is well and truly in peaches. What you got to remember is that it's the Democrats that want it, Republicans don't want it, and it's the Republicans who will decide. So most of all, nothing going to happen. I got a theory, John Wayne.
Okay.
It's not much of a theory, and it's not based on truth whatsoever.
Okay.
But remember way back when, and Canadian PM Justin Trudeau was seen to be laughing with Boris Johnson.
With who?
And Boris Johnson, UK Prime Minister. Sorry. They were laughing about Donald Trump, right?
Yeah.
Then Donald Trump poked himself in the hole in the lion's den of Iran.
Right.
And then all the missiles flew over.
Yes.
Tragically on that night, too, the missile struck the plane. Plane full of Canadian nationals.
Hang on a second. This is a hugely controversial and offensive thing. Are you suggesting that that was because Justin Trudeau, I think his name is, was mocking Donald Trump?
We're in a tricky legal standpoint.
Yeah, we are.
Thank you very much indeed. There we go. I suspect that had absolutely nothing to do with it. But, interesting enough, in the great scheme of things, that's not the nuttiest conspiracy theory that I've ever heard and that some people believe in. Here's the thing now. All it takes is the right person to retweet some theory. I mean, that's obviously crazy and nonsense. But it just takes the right person to retweet some insanity now for it to become fact in inverted commas. Doesn't matter if it's true or not.
Yeah.
If enough people say it, it becomes true.
Yeah.
It becomes true. The whole pizza child pornography thing about the Clintons, that there was a pizza restaurant where they were having, like, sex with children and stuff in the basement, and someone turned up with a gun, didn't they, to sort this out once and for all.
Yeah.
And there are still people, and even though that's been completely disproved, there will still be people now who will be listening to this going, yeah, but we don't know the truth about it.
Well, also, one person's, turns out, wholly untrue theory has led to loads of kids not being vaccinated by their parents who think they're doing the very best thing for them.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And that's still going on.
You're going to have to Google this.
Go on.
Is it Claudia Schiffer's husband?
Hang on. He's a film director.
Find out if they made an anti-vaccine documentary.
Okay. That sounds strange, but...
Doesn't it? There's a furore that an anti-vaccine documentary is being shown in council buildings.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
And it's someone like... It may not be Claudia. It's someone like that's husband has made it.
I know there's a thing here about De Niro pulling anti-vaccination documentary.
No. It's an actress or a model's husband.
All right.
We'll find it in a bit. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road is where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's old style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. There's a world that's waiting to unfold. A brand.
So the Blue Monday thing is a myth. You know, so Blue Monday is the most depressing. Today is the most depressing day of the year. It's a myth. It was made up by a travel company. That was it. It was to sell holidays. So you go, the third Monday of January is miserable. I'm going to buy a holiday. That's what it was for. It was made to market holidays. Evidence shows that low mood doesn't vary with seasons. So I just think it's important to say that because some people might approach the third Monday, it's Tuesday now, in January with trepidation. It ain't real. It ain't real. It's the same as any other freaking day. All right? It is not real. Good evening, Paul.
Hello. I've got this notion in my brain. And that's to do with the idea or notion that all pay the ministers in Leicester is actually hell.
What is actually hell, Paul?
All pay.
All pay?
Yeah, council's name is All Pay.
Right, okay.
If you ring up that council, you'll get sort of... You have to pay money into a council, yeah? It's like hell. Is it actual?
No, hell doesn't exist. Hell isn't real. Hell is a man-made construct.
Hey, hell is a what?
Hell is a man-made construct. It doesn't exist.
It does in my wrist, you know, when I got pushed out a second story.
Paul, listen, I got my suggestion to you tonight, of all nights, is go to bed. Go to bed.
I know.
Go to bed! Do it, Paul! Go to bed!
Why?
Because it's late at night and only idiots are up at 5 past midnight. I'm an idiot. Sam's an idiot. Daryl's a massive idiot. He stays up until the morning like a fool.
I'm an idiot also.
You're an idiot! Go to bed! Go on, go and get some sleep, man. It's too late for this.
What talk about hell?
Yeah.
Hell.
We don't want to talk about hell. Come on, man. We're just scaring people.
Hey?
We're just scared. Let's not talk about hell. We're just scaring people.
Will it?
Of course it will.
Well, hellfire. You can't hellfire again.
All right. Paul, listen, my friend. I'm going to let you go, okay?
Yeah, oh, no.
Yeah.
Just, I could change the subject.
Here's the thing, Paul. Here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm not feeling very well tonight. I got a cold. I got a sore throat. My head is not in the best place that it could be, right? Exactly. And I just think that us talking together tonight is not going to be healthy for either of us.
Why not?
Well, it doesn't matter why not. I believe that us talking together tonight will not be healthy for either of us.
But why?
Doesn't matter why. That is my belief.
You're allowed to have a belief. That's good.
Exactly. So I'm going to wish you a good night, Paul.
Oh, no, not now. Leave me alone in my room.
Yeah, Paul, I'm going to let you go, my friend. I'm going to send you lots of love. You take care, Paul. All right. Good night. Thank you. 0344 499 1000. Poor old Paul. He calls in a bit. I think maybe it's time to call time on Paul's calls, because he's obviously, we know Paul's called up a lot. He's a paranoid schizophrenic. He lives in some kind of facility. We've never quite established what. And his grasp on reality is very, very different to everybody else's. And sometimes I can tap into it. And tonight I just can't quite tap into it. So, and I do wonder, and this is one of the things, right, about doing this show, is that we talk a lot about mental health and stuff. And I do have to wonder from time to time whether me taking certain people's calls is helping them, is doing nothing, positive or negative, or is having a detrimental effect on them. And I just wonder if taking Paul's always fascinating calls, whether that's having a detrimental effect on him. I also have to wonder as well whether it's exploitative or not. And I don't want to exploit people. Back in the day, I would exploit people. Back in the day, it's kind of what I did. But I don't want to exploit people. That's not what this show's about. Let's go to Scott. Good evening, Scott.
Good evening, mate.
Are you on speakerphone, Scott?
I am, yes.
Don't be.
I'll tell you what, I'll call when I can. Sorry, bud.
That's all right, man. We can't hear you. Give us a call back when you can pull over, because I can't really hear you very well. One of the key things is, and I used to exploit people a lot for entertainment and stuff. I used to do that. He's cool. But might not be. Let's see. I don't want to exploit people. I don't want to exploit anybody. Dave, I hear you. We called that one about 20 minutes ago. And I'm always, we have slightly more vulnerable callers than other shows. I'm thinking of things like people like Nigel and stuff. And it's a real constant stress as to whether what we are doing is exploitative of them. And I think maybe in the past I've exploited Nigel. He's not called in for a while, actually. I do hope that he's okay. Let's see where we are with this young man tonight. This might be a short call as well. Let's see. Good evening, Stephen. Oh. Well, shorter than I expected. Let me try. Sometimes, because it works if I drag it over to that one. Let's try that. Stephen? This is late night radio. At its absolute finest. Do you want to try Stephen again, Sam? Let's try again. Hey, Stephen.
Ian, can I say something? You're not exploiting anybody. You give so much to so many people. That really bothered me when you said that there.
Well, no, I didn't. No. I know I'm not exploiting people, but I have to constantly... I have done in the past, I don't now, and I am constantly assessing and reassessing and checking and double-checking, I mean the same thing, the motive behind me talking to certain people. And I am confident now that I don't exploit people in that way.
Right. Because I wasn't going to phone up because I'd heard that you were a wee bit under the weather on that. I know what that's like, you know, and I'm not a radio presenter right enough, but, you know, sometimes you just can't, you know, it's hard to lift yourself, but you've just got to keep remembering you're doing so much good. I don't know what I'd do, honestly, Ian. You and Kat, is Kat in tonight?
Katherine is just getting some air.
Right.
She'll be back in a little bit.
Hey,
all right, I get it, Steve. I don't want this to be a let's all blow smoke up my ass.
Right,
So, but I hear what you're saying, Stephen, and thank you. It's appreciated.
And on a positive note, that's now 3.5 days without the brown.
Beautiful. That's great news.
As clarity as something. It's like a whole new world.
Yeah, it gets better. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
All right, nice one, Stephen. Thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000. Blah, 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 blah.
The late night alternative with that man, Iain Lee. There's no strangers here, just friends you haven't stalked on Facebook yet.
Have never sent my picture to anyone who didn't request it.
The late night alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Yes.
There we go. I'll tell you what we thought would be nice. Because a lot of you will have missed this the first time around. I love Nerina Pallot so much. She's one of my favourite singer-songwriters, right? Just... Oh, that voice. It's just one of those voices. Clive Ball really got me into her. Then I mentioned to him, I've not seen him for about a year, mentioned it to him and he couldn't remember her. But she's one of those voices and she just writes these filthy songs. It's kind of, I think I do see a lot of similarities between her and Imani, right? But she's very British and Imani's very Brooklyn, New York. But she writes romantic songs and beautiful songs and filthy songs, and she's just great. And we saw her tonight, and we thought maybe we'd interviewed her a while ago. When was this interview from?
Wow, the old place. So I reckon maybe
a year ago,
maybe more.
So a lot of you will have missed it. So we're going to play in a little bit an interview that we did. With Nerina Pallot, and I thoroughly recommend get on YouTube, get on Spotify, go and dig out a few songs, and you'll be in for a treat. There's an album, my favourite album is the one that Bernard Butler produced, which I think is called Year of the Wolf, off the top of my head.
It's called that, yeah.
It's like a sort of, it's got like a very faint, actually not that faint, it's got a really nice sort of 60s girl group kind of vibe to it, and it's just ridiculously good. I just love it. Hello, Tony.
Oh, it's ridiculously good. Oh, hi.
quick question, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, but not for much longer, mate.
No, you had a lovely young lad ring up the other day, who was sad and being bullied at school. Or no, he wasn't being bullied at school, but he was worried. And I haven't been able to listen to the show for a few nights, and you gave him some really, really lovely words. And I wonder if you'd heard back from him.
Yeah.
Weirdly, I was sat here and I just thought of that little lad.
Yeah, Thomas, he's doing very, very well. He called back the next night or a couple of nights after to say that he was in a much better place.
That's really good.
There you go.
And I just want to say that I thought what you said to him, the promise you made him, was fantastic, Iain.
Tony, thank you very much. I'm a nice guy. You're a nice guy. We're all nice guys. My spidey sense isn't working. It's telling me other stuff. Everything is off. Everything is off. It's like someone's held a very strong electromagnet to my neck, which is where my spidey sense is stored. And everything is off. I just don't know what's going on in my head. It's partly because I got a cold. When you got a cold, you know this, boy. When you got a cold, it knocks everything. The vibe here, you know, is peculiar. I don't know. There is going to be an almighty explosion at some point. Not from me. I'm not saying from me. And I don't mean a bomb. But something has to shift. There is something is blocking. Something is blocking the planet's chakras, right? And something, I don't even know what that means. But something is going to be like a massive dump is going to pass through and everyone's going to go, oh, that's better. Oh, I can breathe. Oh, I can stand up straight. Oh, my God, I can even jog a little bit. Oh, it was painful. Oh, it was painful. It was uncomfortable for a long time. And that moment when it passed was painful. But I feel so much better for it now. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. So, yeah, that'll come at some... Oh, I've got to tell you. Have you seen Medical Police on Netflix? Oh, it's funny, man. Medical Police is funny. I watched it just because, you know, I see these tweets from these American comedians for some reason, and one of them mentioned Medical Police. And I watched it today. It's on Netflix. It's very, very silly. Like, really silly. But so funny. Really making me... once I kind of... It's like slightly cheesy acting. And I always think the British do the slightly cod acting a little subtler than the Americans. And so it was a little bit too it's meant to be over the top.
Right.
But it was a little bit too over the top. But once I'd bought into that, I thought, oh, it's funny. There's like this American doctors in this hospital, and they're quick. We need to drive and then they jump in the car. Quick, you've got to drive me to the Sao Paulo College because there's an outbreak of a virus. Sao Paulo College, of course. Oh yeah, because we're in Brazil, aren't we? Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. We're in Brazil, but we work in an American hospital that sees primarily American
they explain
nationals.
All this.
Yeah, this is what they're saying. And then as they finish that bit, they're driving along, and there's a guy on the road, and the guy beeps the horn. Out of the way, Brazilian! It's just full of it's exposition where it tells you what's going on, and it's full of exposition, and it's dumb. And it was exactly, I think 22 minutes each. I only did a couple today, but I think that's tomorrow is watching Medical Hospital. Fonzie's in it. If Fonzie's in it.
The Winkler.
The Winkler's in it. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. And I like dumb stuff.
I'm having real trouble watching anything that requires anything more than minimal concentration at the moment.
Yeah.
Like minimal concentration. So that sounds brilliant.
Yeah, it's good. Have some of that. All right, listen. Darren Morris is coming up at 1. He's great, and I really recommend you listen to him. We'll be back. Well, we'll be back in a minute, but I cannot stress how great Nerina Pallot is, how stunning her voice is. It's like a lovely gooey cake. And her songwriting is great. She's really, really charming, and I'm such a huge fan. And who knows? It looks like we might be becoming friends, which is great. Mm-hmm. Stay tuned, because after the break, we're going to play you an interview we did with Nerina Pallot maybe 18 months ago, could be 2 years ago. I really think you're going to enjoy it. Stay tuned, dear listener. This is Talk Radio.
Tales of mystery and imagination on the radio show that does things differently.
Dolly Parton, I listen to a record all day long.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I'm a nut job, but not that kind of nut job.
On Talk Radio.
Honest to God, it's the new Breaking Bad. Oh no!
Nerina Pallot is here. Hello.
Hello.
This is a little bit embarrassing because I'm kind of quite a big fanboy of yours. And we met once briefly at Sky News.
Very early in the morning.
Really early on a Sunday morning, and I was reviewing the papers, and you were in to talk about a song, and I think talk about refugees.
Yeah.
I think, and I got a little bit flustered and a bit. It's so nice. It's so nice to see you and stuff like that. How are you doing? You're right.
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, and it's not a horribly early hour on a Sunday, which is much
It's
better.
a weird time in the afternoon.
Yeah.
How do you fill your days? What are your days? I imagine you being all creative and going, I shall go into the piano and write another song, but.
That does happen, but today I was being quite domestic, and I have inherited a stray pregnant cat over the weekend.
Oh, God.
So I was doing some music, I was playing piano, and then I had to take this little cat to the vet and find out that we're going to have kittens. And
so is this cat just rocked up at your house?
Yeah, rocked up Saturday evening. You know, we had that massive... do you live in London?
I live in Windsor, so
right,
yeah.
so you know we had like major rain.
Yeah.
Saturday
Oh, it was great.
So I get back, I've been out on Saturday night, very late, it's actually Sunday morning at this point, and there's this little cat, and she wants to come in.
Oh, no.
And I let her in, and realised, because she's got a big old belly, that, this cat's going to have kittens.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, I'll let her stay in for the night, she must belong to someone. And then I let her out the next day. No, she belongs to me now.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah.
How funny.
Yeah, so...
And do you know when the kittens are coming? Are they imminent?
No idea. The vet was like, well, we could ultrasound, but it won't tell us very much.
Yeah.
It's like, great, cheers.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
And there's been none of those posters up on trees saying missing pregnant cat.
No, and I've not seen this cat before, and...
That cat's yours. That's your cat.
I think she is, yeah. She's really cool. She's black, completely black. She's quite small. They think she's quite young. But I'm just like now thinking, how am I going to juggle that? And hopefully the kittens can be homed before I go on tour. How am I going to do this?
My cat, I'm a cat person. We've got a dog, and that was a terrible, terrible mistake. But my cat won't talk to me. She's a very old lady. And she's about 18 and a half. She's not very well.
She's doing
She's
well.
old. But she's just got to go on some tablets because she's losing a lot of weight, but she's fine. But so every morning and every evening, I have to grab her, hold her tightly between my legs, grab her jaw, prise her jaw open and throw a tablet. So she's just not talking to me now. She's hiding under the bed and won't come anywhere near me. So,
poor cat.
I know, it's terrible.
I know, and that's the thing with animals, you know. I've got 2 dogs as well, and I had a rabbit till recently. My rabbit's now on the mantelpiece.
Oh, God.
I sound like a crazy animal lady, don't I?
We had a rabbit. We had terrible luck with our rabbit. We had 2 and they died. If my boys are listening, we had 1. And they died really quickly.
How quickly?
Like, neither of them made a year.
What were you doing? Mine lived for nearly 11 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we had the one died, and then we said, the rabbit's run away. And then a week later, I found the rabbit. It's a little bit smaller and a slightly different colour, but they went with it. And then... Until now, they don't listen to this rubbish. And then we went away for a week, and we paid someone to come to the house and look after the cat and look after the rabbit before we had our dog. And on the 3rd day, this poor young lady, she was a veterinary nurse, phoned up and said, "I'm terribly sorry, your rabbit's died." And I went, "Oh God, we're gonna tell the boys, we're gonna break it to them." And guys, we've got some bad news. We've just spoke to Sarah, who's looking after the animals, and Velvet's fine, the cat's fine, but Benji's died. And we were expecting tears, and they just went, can we see his skeleton? That was all they wanted. Can we see his skeleton?
That's little boys though, isn't it?
As if we were going to skin him.
I know.
Disgusting. Anyway, that's Pet Corner. We do this every week. We invite a pop star in.
I'm the mad animal lady.
To talk about pets. You've got a new album, which I've not heard because you've just handed it to me.
Yes.
Is it any good?
I think it's very good.
Stay Lucky. This comes out in October, doesn't it?
On October the 3rd, on Friday the 13th.
Oh, really? Yeah. Deliberate?
Yeah.
Two fingers up?
We were looking at dates to release the record, and I thought we were going to call it Stay Lucky, and I was like, yeah, sod it, let's put it out.
How does it work now, releasing records? Because the fact that we're saying records is kind of shows that we are of an age. This is going to come out as a CD.
CD, vinyl, and cassette.
Oh, you're doing cassettes?
I'm doing cassette, but they're not in yet, otherwise I'd have brought you one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because vinyl's having a huge resurgence.
Yeah, well, it is and it isn't. I mean, effectively, yes, compared to like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But if you look at like the market share of vinyl...
It's still tiny.
Yeah, it's tiny.
But cassettes, that's unnatural. Is it coming out on 8-track as well? Are you going to...
Can you imagine? No, but the thing is, when I was making this record, it isn't the record I thought I'd make.
Yeah.
I thought I'd make a really left field record, and my last record was quite electronic.
Yeah.
And then last year was such a weird year, wasn't it? It was just like the weirdest year.
History. Well, the last 18 months or so, it's been. I genuinely think that this country is having some kind of post-traumatic stress with Brexit, with the weird.
It's going through its midlife
the
crisis.
Weird general elections, the Trump and the terror attacks and all. It's been a really horrible. You're right, like a terrible year.
And across the board, politically, in the arts, we lost so many icons.
Yeah, of course.
And I just found myself wanting to listen to classical records.
Yeah.
And I was also doing this thing on Facebook last year amongst my mates saying, before they die, let's appreciate classic artists, like Bill Withers, like Joni Mitchell. Let's put up because any day now we're going to have to read their obituary. Let's appreciate them while they're here.
Do you know what? I totally get that because this is slightly off a tangent, but we've had a lot of older comedians on, like Tommy Cannon and Eddie Large and stuff.
Yeah.
And part of that is because in 2016, it was that thing, oh, David Bowie's died, let's say how much we love him. Oh, Prince has died, let's say how much we love him. Why not say that, like you said, why not say those things while they're still here,
exactly. And a lot of them are still making work as well, I just wanted to listen to records, classic records that just stood the test of time, that were, I don't know, whenever I watch like things like the Old Grey Whistle Test, all those artists, they haven't been like PR'd to within an inch of their life, so they all look like crap, don't they? But they sound amazing.
Yeah.
They sound incredible. And I saw Bill Withers in the flesh a few months ago.
Oh, wow.
At the Ivor Novellos, and he gave this incredible speech. He was winning the Lifetime Achievement Award. And I was just like, that's the kind of artist anyone should aspire to be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've got a soft spot for things like Justin Bieber and Katy Perry. I get why that is popular. But does that endure? And I don't know that it does. And I just wanted to sort of steep myself in the records that endure. And I found myself making a totally retro record.
Really? Retro sounding?
Well, Process, I tracked it, a lot of it live. I tracked it in a studio called Rack in St John's Wood.
Rack is famous, of course,
really famous. And then some of it we did at Abbey Road. And I was just like, you know what, I'm in for a penny, in for a pound. I'm going to make this record. It's kind of self-indulgent in the sense that I decided to not listen to radio, to not pay attention to whatever's sort of being the new thing, and just make something that I thought was beautiful and had integrity. But it's not in a kind of like, it's not all slow songs. It's definitely
as if beauty and integrity meant that it's going to be very slow, ponderous.
I wanted to write old-fashioned pop songs,
Yeah.
So one of the reasons I put it on cassette is I was thinking about in my teenage years in the late 80s and early 90s. Remember mixtapes?
Yeah, of course.
And it was such a rite of passage, you'd made them for your mates, you made them for the boy you were trying to snog.
Oh, yeah.
And so much care went into each track.
Did you put little bits of, like, spoken word stuff in between some of the songs?
No, I never thought to do that.
Oh, God, I'd get, like, little bits from Monty Python records or bits I'd taken off the telly or bits I'd taped off the radio and put it in.
You really went for it.
Man alive. But I bet you worked extra hard on the cover.
Yeah, I did.
Fancy girly writing, hearts over the eyes,
But also, like, there was always kind of like a hidden meaning.
Oh.
And if I was doing one for a boy to snog me, I would always put Brass in Pocket by the Pretenders on, because it's like
it's a snogging song.
It's a
snogging song.
Yeah.
I've got two little boys who are 7 and 5, and they've got a record player. I bought them one of those little rectangular cassette recorders so that they can record cassettes, and they know, and they say, can we get the tape recorder out and make something? And it's just them.
It's real, right?
It's real because everything with mobile phones, everything is filmed and recorded and photographed and all that, and it's great. In the 70s and 80s, you had to make an effort. If you were going to recapture something, you had to make an effort to get that equipment out and put a little bit of sellotape over the end of the
That's
cassette.
what I mean about process.
Yeah.
So I think process can become as important as the finished thing in itself.
Yeah.
And then the process, and so on this record I used loads of old synths like Junos, Moogs, old classic pianos and stuff. And because some of them are really quirky, and within a few hours of recording they get out of tune, it slows everything down. But you really have to think about how you make stuff.
Have you ever used a mellotron?
Yeah.
Because that's
super quirky.
Because that's got like a half a second delay, hasn't it, between pressing the key and the noise?
It's tape
right.
loops, so each note has a tape loop
Wow.
running. It's like a real old-fashioned hardware sampler, basically.
It's what the people, if you want to know, Strawberry Fields Forever and stuff. That's a mellotron, that kind of sound.
Sweet sound is a mellotron.
How do you write a song? Are you one of those people that you get up, have a cup of coffee, walk the dogs, and then go, right, I'm going to sit at the piano between 9 and 1, and I'm going to, are you like one of those old Brill Building songwriters?
I have done it. I have tried to be like that. I went through a period a few years ago where I was doing a lot of writing for other people, and it sort of became how you have to do it, and I hated it. It's so not how I write. No, I tend to write when I'm slightly, a few too many glasses of wine. And I wrote a lot of this record while jet lagged, weirdly. I'd gone to Australia a few times last year, and just 4 a.m. songs.
Yeah.
And there's something about 4 a.m. I can't explain it.
Between 3 and 4 a.m. is when the most suicides take place.
Oh, right.
There's something dark about that time.
Okay.
You're right. The last album, it was the last one, wasn't it? That was kind of a lot more electronic and synthy,
definitely.
and kind of stands out in your. It's unique in all of your back catalogue.
I'd say so, yeah.
Why did you do that? What was the thinking? You just wanted to do something completely different.
Yeah, and I think it reflected what I was listening to. I'd been doing between Year of the Wolf, which was my 4th album, and my 5th album. I was doing a lot of writing for other artists, and the brief was always pop, radio, electronic pop, and I think it sort of seeped into my writing and my production process, because I produce a lot of my this new one I've done on my own, but it just was a natural progression, and I wanted to try something different. I like my favourite artists always have a massively wide range of styles, I think because you'd get bored otherwise.
I love it. Some of my favourite. I'm a huge fan of the Beach Boys, and I love all that late '60s, '70s stuff when they kind of lost direction and were just trying all this.
Feel Flows.
Oh, Feel Flows.
It's like an amazing track.
That's on the album. I think that's on Surf's Up, which has got the brilliant song "A Day in the Life of a Tree."
Yes.
Sung by their manager. It's it's a great album.
When they're doing the vegetable patch and they're all
vegetables that was going to be on Smile. No, that was going to be on Smile, and then it popped up maybe on Smiley. So I'm going to be around my vegetables. I'm going to chow down my vegetables.
Yeah, they've been taking mushrooms. Those are the vegetables.
I think they might have been. Sunflower's the album for me though. But people go, Pet Sounds. I find Pet Sounds a bit too busy. Sunflower is the one for me where they're kind of
but Pet Sounds is before they went completely bananas.
Yeah. Pet Sounds was kind of the.
We wouldn't have Sgt. Pepper's without Pet Sounds.
See, I'm not a massive fan of Sgt. Pepper's. For me, it's Revolver.
But then that's what pushed the Beatles to going that way, wasn't it? Because I think Paul went to hear Pet Sounds. Brian played it to him, and Paul was like, "I got to best this."
Isn't that brilliant? I love the fact that in the '60s you did have these bands like the Beatles and the Beach Boys, who were. There was like a friendly rivalry between them, where they, Brian Wilson heard Rubber Soul and went, "Ooh, right."
Do you wish that Noel Gallagher had been more like that? So when Blur were making much better records, Noel had been like, "Oh, great, I'll try and make it better." But Noel's always like, "Oh, they're crap," and never tries hard.
Yeah, I know.
Controversial. The Oasis fans are like, what's she talking about?
I never really got Oasis. I've tried. I like a couple of their B-sides, but I survived the Blur Oasis wars, and I was on the side of Blur.
Yeah, my heart is blown. Isn't it more interesting?
They are more interesting. You've brought your guitar.
I have, yeah.
Are you going to play a song, or are you just going to show off?
I can, yeah,
guitar?
I know, I'm just going to show you my guitar and go again.
Is that chair okay, or should we try and find one without arms?
Yeah, I can make it work.
Catherine, it's very, very hot in here. Is that aircon? That's the aircon that is it not working? Oh well, we'll just sweat.
Do you know what? I haven't got my normal guitar because I wasn't at my studio, and it suddenly occurred to me that I should maybe bring an instrument. So I brought my nylon, which is not the greatest one. No, it is a good one, but it's not going to sound.
I'm interviewing Chaz from Chaz and Dave on Thursday,
amazing.
And my friend who's his son-in-law said, bring your ukulele in case a knees-up ensues.
Oh yeah.
So I've restrung my uke, and now it won't stay in tune. I'm just terrified on Thursday there'll be a jam session with Chaz, and I'll be out of tune.
Work.
But I'm thrilled, over the moon.
Is he the one who was sick?
He was sick, yeah, cancer, yeah. I think he's kind of out the other side of it.
Don't they do like something like 100 gigs a year or something?
Ridiculous. They are the hardest working, and they're in their 70s. But my friend Paul is his son-in-law, and I said to him, how's Chaz doing? Is he better? He said, Ian, I've never seen anyone deal with the news of cancer as matter-of-factly. Chaz just went, right, what do we do? How do we fix this? And just got on with it.
That's probably, but then that's probably testament to someone who's had a career for that long.
Yeah.
Oh, bless him.
They are good. Chaz and Dave and Lonnie Donegan.
Yeah.
Do an amazing version together of You Won't See Me by the Beatles. It's just a proper old-fashioned Cockney rocker.
There's not many, there's not a Cockney thing going on at the moment, is there?
Maybe this is the next album, Nerina. Maybe this is... You can bring it back.
I don't think so. What do you want? I could play a new
I want you to play a new one. Play a new one, please.
All right. And this is called I Bring Him Fire. I've not played it on this guitar before. It could be horrific, but we'll see. I bring him fire. I bring him blood. I bring my body. I bring my love. I bring devotion. Is it enough? I bring him every little thing that I got. I bring my hunger, I bring my thirst. He a drink in the desert, and he quench my hood. I bring him fire, I bring him fire. I'm gonna make him burn, yeah. So bad, bet he do things that I wanna do so bad, so bad. I bring fire, I bring in blood, I bring my body, I bring my love, I bring devotion. Is it enough? I bring him every little thing that I so bad, so bad. I bring fire, I bring in blood, I bring my body, I bring my love, I bring devotion.
God, I love you so much. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. Thank you. You, that voice is so big. I mean, I don't know how to phrase this, so I'm going to probably sound rude and clumsy. You know, you're a slight woman and you have this huge cavernous voice. When did you start singing? How did that all start?
I was really little. My mum was a singer. She did summer season and stuff.
Right.
So I grew up watching her go on stage.
Wow.
But I was always really shy. I never thought I'd be a singer. I always thought I'd be like a musician and a songwriter.
Yeah.
But I think I started to get serious about singing when I was about 12.
Yeah.
And then I think, but my voice has only really got bigger in the last 5 or 6 years.
Do you think so?
Well, it feels like more solid. I think it's years of like booze and fags.
Are you a smoker?
I'm going to say no.
Good.
I'm trying not to at the moment.
Well done.
But I've learnt to kind of never go no, because every time I say that, I go out and then next thing I know.
You're having a fag.
Yeah.
We've all been there. We've all been there. What was it like? Fires was the breakthrough, wasn't it? And that was huge. And I heard it from another radio presenter, a bloke called Clive Bull, who kept talking about it on his show. Yeah. And he kept talking about it, and he talked about it so much. I thought, I'm going to buy this bloody record and have a listen. And it was amazing, and it was a huge hit. What was that like, going from being a jobbing musician to suddenly being a pop star?
I really didn't like it.
Yeah,
it really didn't suit me, and I found it really strange. And I found I really find things like telly really hard. I feel quite comfortable with radio now. But I just wanted to be successful as a musician. Unfortunately, the byproduct of if you make popular music is profile and celebrity and all that nonsense. And I wasn't comfortable with it. And I see so many things like, I've only now looked back at my Top of the Pops performance, and I just see fear and like a rabbit in the headlights.
Yeah, of course. I bet that's quite common for people. A lot of pop stars are show-offs, and a lot of performers are. But I think that there are a lot of people that want to do it because they want to make good music.
Yeah.
And the stardom side of it is kind of it scares people.
It's scary, and also I always think musicians are some of the most unemployable people in the and also the most difficult, not necessarily on purpose, but I think for me, I write. I don't keep a diary. I've never been in therapy, but I have lots of things in my head that if I didn't write, I probably would drive everybody insane.
Yeah.
And so then you put someone like me, and I'm probably very representative of lots of singer-songwriters, in the public eye. If they don't feel comfortable, it's like a recipe for disaster.
Did you kind of rebel against the pop star thing? I'm friends with a woman called Imani Coppola, who had a hit.
Oh, she's amazing.
She's
what was it, Cowboy?
A Legend of a Cowgirl.
Yeah, she's really...
So she had that big hit, and I think she was like 19 or 20 and exploded. And she, like you, hated the pop. She wanted to make good music, but didn't want to be a pop star. And she kind of rebelled and then turned her back on it and kind of started making indie records, which are amazing. I think she's a genius.
Really good.
She's incredible. Her album Black and White is just wonderful. Anyway, do you think that you kind of, because you felt so uncomfortable in that pop star role, that you rebelled against it?
Yeah, I didn't rebel against it. I think rebellion's not the word. I just decided to not do lots of things.
Not play that game.
Yeah. And I don't think I ever was convincing at it. And I, because I wasn't convincing and I wasn't prepared to be convincing, certain opportunities dried up.
Yeah.
Like at one point, I was asked to do one of those celebrity reality shows. I won't say which one. And I went as far as...
Did you have a roof, or were you covered by trees?
There was a roof,
okay.
But it involved a sort of like... no, that gives it away. Anyway...
Don't worry, go on.
And I thought, well, I've got to show willing, because what happens is in the entertainment industry, if you're a musician, you'll work with pluggers. You have radio pluggers, like Lovely Joe, who you met, and you have TV pluggers and press pluggers. And the label are always breathing down their neck saying, get this person this opportunity. So if the artist turns up and says, I'm not doing that, then you kind of you can't blame them.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll show willing. Anyway, it was really, I just...
Awful.
I just knew I shouldn't be applying for this role.
Do you think it's harder for a solo woman? Because there's always, if you see a solo woman at the piano, you go, oh, it's Tori Amos stroke Kate Bush. Whereas you see a bloke at the piano, a bloke with a guitar, it's a very male-dominated industry. Is it tougher, do you think?
Yeah, because like you say, a bloke with a guitar could be anybody.
Yeah.
It's not the automatic reference. Also, you never hear people going, that's a man band, but you always hear girl band. There's a band I love called Warpaint. I think you'd really like Warpaint.
Right, okay.
And they're 4 women, but that's irrelevant. They're making really good records,
You still don't see many bands... Well, here's the thing, you don't see many bands where it's kind of mixed men and women. You kind of get loads of bands of blokes.
Yeah.
You get a handful of
You're
bands.
You're starting to get it, like the XX, Arcade Fire.
Right, okay. Yeah,
You're right, but you're not seeing it in mainstream.
Yeah.
If you think about Coldplay, it's male.
Oh, it's all bloke. The whole pop industry is blokes, apart from, the occasional sort of pop superstar.
It's frustrating, and there's 2 ways you can go about it. There's a lot of push now for women-only sessions, for writing sessions, all this, and I kind of think, well, that's defeating the object.
Yeah.
The whole point is we want some kind of equality.
Yeah.
And also, I don't see it as misogyny necessarily. I just see it as like a slightly backward thing in the media that needs to catch up.
Yeah.
We'll get there. It'll catch up.
Mike, I think we will. I've got to mention my boys who are 7 and 5, and I'm educating them in the classics. They've been to see the Beach Boys. They've been to see the Monkees. They listen to the Zombies and all this. But my 5-year-old by himself I don't know how, has discovered the Spice Girls, and he loves them. Absolutely loves them.
So sweet.
And the thing with
good tunes.
They're brilliant tunes, right? And I love the early stuff. I hadn't really heard a lot of the later stuff, but now I am, because we play it in the car all the bloody time. But to them, they don't care that it's a bloke or it's a girl, or they don't care. They just care that it's a good song.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that is the way that it's going. That it doesn't matter who's singing it or who's produced it or anything. If it's a good song, they'll embrace it.
Yeah, I think so. And kids are really... My son's 7, and he's the same. His music tastes are really wide.
What's he listening to?
Everything. So his favourite thing at the moment is Immigrant Song by Led Zeppelin.
Oh, wow.
But then he loves Katy Perry.
Yeah.
He loves Chained to the Rhythm. He can sing that song over and over again. He's really not bothered.
Yeah.
He's not got a concept of what's cool or what's a genre. It's just like, does he like the tune? Yeah, he's going to listen to it.
And my boy, because I'm kind of into my 60s sort of sounds, and my wife is kind of more into Beyonce and J-Lo and that kind of stuff. So they're getting everything.
Yeah.
And to them, it's just music. They don't know the colour, the year. They don't know anything. It's just, this is good. I don't like this one. And that's brilliant, I think.
But I think that's like, music's your thing. It's my thing as well. When it comes to films, for example, I'm really indiscriminate.
Yeah.
I'll just go see anything.
Yeah.
I don't think about genre. I don't think about the type of movie I might like. I'm just quite open-minded.
Yeah.
And I don't get too attached. Like, I don't talk about my favourite films all the time. So I think the average person has a much more sort of laid-back approach to music. But for those of us who are massive music fans, we get so stuck in the thing we love.
Have you taken your boy to concerts yet?
No, he's still a bit young, I think.
I've taken mine to a few, and they fall asleep during the interval. But it's we were at the Beach Boys, and my 5-year-old was singing Surfing Safari, and I thought, I'm doing this right. Yeah. I'm doing this right. Can I get another song, please?
Yeah. Do you what's one of your ones that you like?
Would you be able to play Halfway Home? Or is that too tricky?
It's tricky on this one.
Well, then don't.
Tuned guitar.
Okay, then don't. Then you put them.
Also, I haven't played it for about a decade.
Unbelievable. Look at you tease. Then you choose one. You choose anything you want.
From Fires, maybe?
Yeah.
What can I play on Fires? God, this is like I'm creaky and it's because I'm living in my new record, I haven't really been playing.
If you want to play a new one, play a new one.
I tell you what, I'll play Sapphire.
Okay.
I don't play it on guitar very often.
Okay.
It's always fun. Okay, here we go. 5 o'clock and a fire escape symphony spilling out across the road and the square, and the sky's the same as your own. Do you think of me? Do the parks and trees and the leaves reach you there after the rain? In the lonely hours he hopes calling out again and again. So fire, I'm burning, it's a fire I cannot put out. So fire, I'm learning that some things I can't go without. And one of them is him. And now I walk these streets like a stranger in my hometown. There's no language for the words when I speak, but it changed me, I'm his ghost since he came around. Now I count the hours, the days and the weeks, so passion and silence. Every word, every line of measure, it's the science of the soul. And his books, they breathe a reason. And now I wanna know. So fire, I'm burning, it's a fire I cannot put out. So fire, I'm learning there's some things I can't go without. And you with the newborn eyes, have you ever loved a man like I love him? Do your heart but still feel alive like never before? Oh, so fire, so fire, so fire, I'm burning, it's a fire I cannot put out. So fire, I'm learning there's some things I can't go without. I can't go without him.
Oh, you made me cry. You made me cry. I love it. That was wonderful. Thank
you.
That's so special. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to play it for you.
You made me well up. Anyway, it's fine. You're going on tour, did you say?
A mini tour.
Mini tour.
In November, yeah.
Whereabouts?
Just London, Manchester and Glasgow.
I'm coming because I've never seen you live apart from this. The new album, Nerina Pallot, Stay Lucky, October the 13th. You really are messing with demons by doing that. Because now, where's the best place for people to buy your stuff? Where the money goes in your pocket?
Oh, well, it's on my own label.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
In that case...
all donations gratefully received.
There we go. And it's on CD, download, and your records and your actual tape cassette, guys.
Yeah.
Nerina, thank you so much. It's such a thrill to see you, and for you to sing, like that, this close to me is
I can't tell you how nice it is to come and do something where I'm asked about what I do. A lot of times... these days, people want to know, I don't know, they just want to know your views on who's big in Love Island.
I tried to watch a bit of Love Island the other day. I couldn't understand it.
No, even from the trailer, I was like, I don't think I'll understand.
So it's just people shagging and then someone wins. How is that a TV concept?
I don't know. It's like Tinder on telly, isn't it?
Now there, Nerina, remind me of your Twitter handle as well if people want to follow you.
Oh yeah, it's Lady Chatterley.
Lady Chatterley.
Yeah.
And best of luck with your pregnant cat.
Thank you so much.
I hope it all works out well.
Are you in the business for a kitten?
God, no. No. I would love one, but I would get murdered. And also my old lady cat, slang for my wife, my old lady cat would she got so upset when we brought a dog home one day. If another cat turned up, she would never speak to me. The album is Stay Lucky, October the 13th, dear listener. I'll be tweeting all the links and all the things. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh God.
That was such a pleasure.
This is
Talk Radio.